TV Channel 10. This is Larry Dooling along with Joe Spencer alongside for his second straight year as we open it up, the new 1995 campaign for the Clinton Maroons. And what an opener we have tonight, Joe Spencer. The Maroons host the defending Class 3A state champions, the Bloomington Central Catholic Saints, an old rival, a defending state champion, opening game on a warm late summer night. What more could we ask for? It should be fireworks here as it's number 5 against number 10 in the Class 3A preseason poll also.
Yep, Clinton knows Bloomington Central Catholic, of course, from the old Corn Belt Conference. And last year, not quite as good as matchup. Clinton's trying to avenge the 42-19 loss, but the year before, Clinton beat them here. A 15-14 game that was really good. It was in the rain. So had to split the last 2 years and have the rubber game here tonight.
These two schools know each other real well, even though they're not in the same conference with each other anymore after the Maroons left the Corn Belt to go to the OCA Conference several years ago. But they're still very familiar with each other. They played each other every year since the Maroons pulled out of the Corn Belt Conference. It's usually been about the 6th game of the season. But now with the Maroons picking up 2 new teams in their conference, Merle Forsyth and Meridian, this ball game against Central Catholic has been moved to the opener. And what an opener it is tonight for the Clinton Maroons. We got a big crowd pouring on in here for the ball game here tonight. The band is on the football field about ready to perform some pregame entertainment. We are having tailgate parties out in the parking lot, and this town is pumped up for another year after 2 playoff years in a row, 8-1 2 years ago during the regular season, 6-3 in the Cardiac Kids last year, and they're waiting to see how this team can possibly top the last 2 seasons. I don't know how they will, but hopefully they'll bring us a lot more excitement like the last 2.
Yeah, it'll be tough with those games against Olympia and Tolono and Monticello and Sullivan last year. But another good season this year, hopefully. I mean, the AP recognized them early on in the season, giving them the number 10 spot in 3A, and it proves that they have to be good to get that type of voted. And I think it'll be another good season for the Maroons. They got plenty of guys back and plenty of guys to look forward to.
Well, there are some question marks, though. A little wondering about who's going to fill in the line because we're pretty young in the line, but we got a lot of experienced players, as you said, at the skilled position. So it's going to be fun to watch this year. We're going to get it underway very shortly here on WHOW-FM and on Clinton Cable TV Channel 10. We're going to come back and have more of our pregame show and get this one underway very shortly. So we'll be back with more in just a moment. First and 10 for the Maroons is still time. 25 seconds. Quick pass. Here's a good ladder. The big ladder down to the 10. Crowley's out of bounds inside the 10. Rolling out left. Looking downfield. Airing it out for Igins on the fly. 40-yard line catch. Shepard short drop. Pop over the middle. Deflected. Intercepted by Josh Wilson. What a great interception. He's down to the 20. It will go 10 yards. It bounces up high. The Maroons have a chance at the recovery. It's still loose on the ground. Igins has recovered the football. Taking a lot of time. Could be the last play of the ball game. He shoots it deep for the end zone for Schumacher. Battle for the ball. He caught it. Touchdown!
Clinton Maroon football is brought to you by Clinton Chiropractic Center, Clinton IGA Food Liner, Amber Graves of Sheer Paradise, the John Warner Bank, Dave's Food Basket, Walker Tire, Ace Hardware, Cyrulic Incorporated, Illinois Power, Edward D. Jones, Subway, and Allen Chiropractic.
We're back out here at Clinton High School getting set for this one to get underway here in the next minute or so. The time has run out on the clock. The band's finishing up the playing of the school song, and then we'll be kicking this one off between the Clinton Maroons and the Bloomington Central Catholic Saints. The flag making its way around the football field. As you take a look at the Maroon huddle, for those of you watching the tape delay broadcast on Clinton Cable TV Channel 10, those of you listening live here on WHOW Radio, sit back and enjoy this one. It should be a fine matchup between these two football teams, ranked number 5 in Central Catholic and number 10 in Clinton in the state of Illinois in Class 3A, and a couple of old rivals that really like to get after each other. The Maroons were beaten last year 42-19 by Central Catholic up there at the ISU. They were down 35-0 at halftime, but played a solid second half. But that game turned their season around, I think. The second half of that ball game woke the Maroons up. Actually, the first half woke them up. The second half, they showed what they could do, and the rest of the way, they beat Sullivan, they beat Argenta, they beat Eureka, and they made the playoffs before losing to Mahomet Seymour in the first round, to a very good Mahomet Seymour football team, which, by the way, was the only team to put a blemish on Central Catholic's record last year in a game played at Mahomet. Another special feature here on WHOW Radio and on Clinton Cable TV Channel 10. Seated down there just behind and just to the left of the Clinton bench is our own roving reporter. I don't know why he's seated right now, but Mike Craig is down there, and Mike's going to be doing a little sideline reporting for us from time to time. Mike, are you awake down there? You ready to go? Are you paying attention to us right now? Hello, Mike. Are you there? I don't hear a thing out of Mike. Mike's mic is not working. Can that possibly be? Mike, you have to turn on your mic. Is there an on-off switch to that guy or what? No, there is. Mike, you have to turn on your microphone. Well, that's good. We're off to a great start in the sideline microphone. It's not working yet. You have an on-off switch on your mic, Mike. Check it. We're going to kick off, it looks like. The Maroons will be teeing the ball up at the 40-yard line and kicking off to Bloomington Central Catholic. The Maroons will be moving toward the north goal. Central Catholic moving toward the south goal. And I haven't really done a lot of checking to see who's going to be doing the place kicking this year, although in the practices that I've watched, it looks like Josh Wilson has been handling a lot of the place kicking chores so far, getting ready for the season.
Yeah, Josh Wilson will take over the kicking duties. Of course, we lose Carl Kortz. He was a great kicker for us last year, but Josh is going to do a fine job.
And for Central Catholic, they have a couple of deep men. Andy Yeager is one. He's a 5'10 senior. And the other man deep staying at about his own 10-yard line appears to be Kevin Brock. He's 5'9", 145, and a senior. It's a short kick taken by one of the up men who's on his knees immediately when he catches the football and downs the ball at the 35-yard line of Central Catholic. That ball taken by Eric Anderson. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Central Catholic as the Maroons defense will be tested first in this ball game against the defending 3A champions, the Bloomington Central Catholic Saints. This team racked up some points against us last year. They got off to a quick start in the ball game at ISU last year, Joe, and we certainly don't want to see the same results here tonight in this ball game. They're up to the line of scrimmage. And under center, and starting at center, is no surprise, Ryan Wilder, the 5'10", 160-pound senior out of the I formation. Calls a long signal, hands it off to the first man, little opening up the middle, but a good strong hit by Josh Wilson, and only a couple yards gain on the play for the starting fullback in this ball game, or the starting ball carrier in the backfield that time, although it looked like he lined up at the fullback that time. Chris Kiley, he immediately springs to his feet just like he did last year.
Yeah, he doesn't stay down too long after he takes a hit and try to quick trap up the middle. The Maroons defense, everybody talked about their line. It held that time. We'll have to see how that goes later on.
Looked like there might have been a small opening, but boy, Josh Wilson and others were there to close it up quickly from his linebacker spot and stop it for a very short gain of maybe about a yard and a half or so. Second down and about 8.5 or 9 for Central Catholic. Again, a long call by the center Wilder, or excuse me, the quarterback Wilder. I'm rusty already. They'll try to run it right, breaking upfield, but very little yardage as Ijams was there on the tackle. And who else was up there to help out on the play? Schumacher was in the vicinity, but the Maroons swarm it under quickly as Kevin Brock, the tailback on that particular play, listed at 145, and a senior, brought down after a gain of only about one more yard. It'll be 3rd and a long 7 coming up for Central Catholic at their own 38-yard line.
And the talented Clinton secondary came up combined on the tackle. Schumacher and Sams wrapped him up, and he didn't get too much down the field.
So let's see if Central Catholic will have to put it in the air. They have wide receivers each way, one to the right, one to the left. Dropping back to pass, Wilder looking down the field, pops it over the middle, has a man there. The catch made near midfield and out of bounds with the catch is Andy Yeager as he goes out of bounds near the 50-yard line. Just an easily lofted ball over the middle. Now after the play, there's a flag thrown near the Central Catholic players in the backfield. And we'll wait and see what this is as the flag's laying about the 36-yard line. Unsportsmanlike conduct called against Central Catholic. I did not see what happened, but somewhere after the catch was made, well upfield near the 50-yard line, somebody did something, maybe shoved around after the play was well over or something, and Central Catholic is called for the penalty. And they will get the first down, but then they'll have the 15-yard penalty tacked onto it, and that'll move them back to about their own 35-yard line, it would appear.
Yeah, I couldn't see where the penalty was, but talking about Andy Yeager, the guy who made the catch, he was the big returning wide receiver coming back for Bloomington Central Catholic. He's a guy Clinton's going to have to watch tonight. As he had a few catches against us in Bloomington last year.
Let's see if Mike Craig's microphone's working now. Mike, did you see what happened down there? What was the penalty about?
No, I didn't see what happened, Larry. I was trying to get this mic working.
You got it working now. We'll talk to you later. We're glad he's got that sideline microphone working now, and we'll keep adjusting on that so we can hear him a little bit better. It'll be 1st and 25, it looks like, for Central Catholic back at their own 35-yard line. Again, they'll run out of the I formation. Yeah, back to the original line of scrimmage, you're right. And this time they have 1st and 25. They'll try to run it outside. They got around Nate Sams, around the corner past Ijams, across the 45, 50-yard line, drug down and out of bounds. A good tackle from behind by, looks like Randy Rich, who caught him from behind, but not until Brock gets a lot of that yardage back, about almost 20 yards, and it'll be a 2nd down and only about 6 to go for Central Catholic as they're into Maroon territory. They got around the corner, and Nate Sams couldn't contain him and keep him inside, and neither could the other defenders on this near side of the football field.
Yeah, Brock got past that line of scrimmage. He kicked it to the outside, kicked in the afterburners. That was a weakness of the Maroons' defense last year. They couldn't contain him once they got outside of the line. we'll see how that develops later on in the night.
3 wide receivers, 1 lone back in the backfield on this 2nd and 6 for Central Catholic at the Maroon 46-yard line. Long call again by Wilder. Has the football. Fakes the handoff, did give it off to Kiley, and he stumbles forward, and he's very close to a first down near the 40-yard line. Wilder took the handoff on the option right, went straight up the middle, was tripped around the ankles, but kept his momentum going. He's a good back, and he got the 6 yards needed to the 40-yard line for a Central Catholic first down. 2 plays, 25 yards, and a first down for Central Catholic, their 2nd first down of the ball game.
Yeah, once again, a quick trap up the middle by Kiley. A nice job by Wilson wrapping him up, but he got enough yardage for the first down.
Andy Yeager, who wears number 8 for Central Catholic at a wide receiver spot, brings the play in from the sideline. He'll go wide to the left-hand side along with Kevin Dunn. They'll have a man on the slot side. That's Kiley. Now, let me double-check that. I think Kiley's in the backfield. It's hard to see as they're lined up along the line of scrimmage. Yep, it'll be Brock running to the right-hand side. Sams comes up and takes him down for a 2-yard loss. Nate Sams, the Maroons quarterback on offense, getting a chance to play a lot of safety on defense this year, and he came up and stung him behind the line of scrimmage, dropped him for about a 2 or maybe 3-yard loss on the play, as that time Brock didn't get around the corner.
Yeah, it looked like the same type of play where Brock got the big gain, only they ran it to the right side of their line instead of the left, and Nate just came up from his safety spot and wrapped him up for a loss.
One of our biggest concerns about this football team this year is the line play, how the line's going to do on both sides of the football. And Mike Craig's watching that right now. We'll go to Mike a little bit later on and see how he thinks they're doing coming off the football down there. 2nd down and 12 now for the Maroons. Wilder again with only 1 man in the backfield. Brock. Kiley must be in the slot. They're going to try to hand off to Kiley up the middle. He's got a little opening, bounces off a couple of men. Schumacher is one of those, and looks like he has enough for a first down. He's not that big, but boy, he's tough to bring down as he ran over Ryan Schumacher about 5 yards short of the first down marker, went over him and got the first down yardage. I think they're going to stop and measure it just to make sure. Nope, they look it over and they say it is a first down just inside the 30-yard line. 1st and 10 for Central Catholic on the 12-yard pickup for Kiley.
Yeah, and Kiley's one of those guys, if you look at his dimensions on paper, he doesn't look really big, but once he puts the pads on and starts playing, he's the horse to bring down, and Schumacher learned that, although it was a nice job by Randy Rich and Bob Igems to stop him before he got any more.
No score in the football game. We're early in the contest. 7:45 to go in the first period of play. Central Catholic on the opening drive has it down to the Maroon 30-yard line on the 1st and 10. Again, the I formation in the backfield. Wilder with the long count once again. Has the football, spins, hands it off to the second back. Brock tries the right-hand side, and the Maroons come up. It's Wes Graves who comes up and puts him down immediately at the line of scrimmage for no gain on the play. Let's check with Mike Craig real quick here. Mike, how's the line doing along there for the Maroons defensively? How they look?
Well, it looks like they're coming off the ball, but I don't know if they're going to make many plays. They're awful small.
On that run by Kiley for the first down a moment ago, somebody was on top of the quarterback real quick. Unfortunately, he was able to get the hand off to Kiley. Did you see who it was by any chance?
I think that was
somebody in the middle
Savage.
of the line.
Yeah, Jim Savage, I believe, but I think they let him go.
Jim Savage starting at the nose guard. Kiley got the first down on the play, however, but here, now it's 2nd down and 10. Here's the pitch. They get at the Brock. Got a block, cuts it upfield, very close to a first down near the 20-yard line before he's brought down as Schumacher and Randy Richer there. Brock got a good block from somebody upfield. Nate Sams was blocked out on the play by Kevin Dunn, the end, and Nate talking to the official about it, thinking maybe that was an illegal block, but there's no flag on the play, and it appears to be a first down or very close to a first down. They're going to stop the clock and look it over, or will they measure here? They're looking it over. Official hasn't made a decision yet. He's going to bring the sticks out. They're going to make a measurement here to see if this is another Central Catholic first down near the 20-yard line of the Maroons.
And looking early on in Bloomington Central Catholic's drive here, it looks like they want to drive to their left side. That's where they've had the big gain so far, the left, and they've had one up the middle. To the right side, they've been stuffed by Wes Graves and Nate Sams, so it looks like they're going to look to exploit that left side of the line.
It is short, but only by a few inches, it appears, for the first down. The ball's just inside the 20-yard line. It'll be 3rd down in inches for the Saints. As they break huddle, Kiley will line up in the backfield behind the quarterback Wilder. They'll have Brock wide to the right-hand side, and looks like Yeager comes wide to the left. Another man inside of him. That's Scott Kurz. And quarterback keeper up the middle. Looks like plenty of yardage for Wilder as he punches it ahead to about the 18-yard line. About a yard and a half carry, and another first down for Central Catholic. This drive started after a short kickoff by the Maroons. At the 35 of Bloomington Central Catholic, they had what could have been a costly penalty during the drive, but they overcame it and got the first down and kept the drive going, and now they're at the 18 of the Maroons.
Yeah, it was just a QB keeper. Wilder had plenty of penetration by the center there and just got the few yards that he needed.
From the I formation again, Wilder will hand it to the second back, opening on the right-hand side, but then he's tripped and stumbles forward and covered up at about the 16-yard line, a gain of only about 2. I didn't see who got the hand on him, but Bob Igems finished him off at the 16. A gain, well, they're not going to give him quite as much as I thought, only about a 1-yard gain on the play when his knee touched down for Brock out of the backfield. Kevin Brock, he's being a workhorse here tonight. They got him listed at 5'9", 145. He looks bigger than that to me.
Yeah,
from up here.
He's definitely running like it, Larry. He's got 6 carries so far. And I think the guy that you saw at the line of scrimmage, I think Josh Wilson hit him, and then he bounced off him, and Bobby wrapped him up.
Two guys going wide to the right-hand side. It's Kevin Dunn and Andy Yeager once again. Kylie and Brock lined up in the backfield. Kylie at the fullback spot. And Weiler with the football, spinning, faking the handoff, rolling out right, looking downfield. Some pressure, throws over the middle, got a big target and a catch made, and out of bounds at about the 7-yard line. As Central Catholic is very close to having a 1st and goal here, as a catch made down there by David Wiltz, the 6'4.5" tight end. The senior makes the catch. He was a nice big target down there, and Wilder found him for the 1st down.
Yeah, he's one of the guys I mentioned in the pregame show. He's an all-area player. He's a big target at tight end. Plus, he plays defensive end for the Saints, so he looks to be a key player for them tonight.
At the 7-yard line, 1st and goal for the Clinton Maroons. Now they'll go with the power I formation as another back joins them in the backfield. And they'll fake it to the left hand. They will run it to the left-hand side. Little opening. Brock met near the 3-yard line and drug down. Good tackle by Randy Rich. He was the last man that had a chance to make the play. And Randy brings him down at about the 3 or 2-yard line, or Brock would have had it in the end zone for Central Catholic. As it is, it's a gain of 4 and a 2nd and goal coming up near the 3-yard line.
Yeah, they tried to kick it outside to that left side once again. Randy did a nice job stopping him before he could get to that goal line.
Now, the Maroons have forced Central Catholic to use a lot of clock, moving it down the football field. But the Saints with a good solid drive, a lot of running, but a good combination of a couple passes sprinkled in there for big plays. And they're knocking at the door for the first score of the ball game. Central Catholic at the 3. On 2nd and goal, quarterback keeper Wilder met at the line of scrimmage, or maybe just beyond, and pushed back. Those guys stuck their nose in there and made the play. For Clinton, we saw a couple of key guys step up there. Clyde Leggett from his line spot, and got some help on the play by Josh Wilson from his linebacker. And there was probably others, but those were the first 2 guys that I noticed meet him, and only a gain of maybe a yard and a half or so. They'll have 3rd and goal from about the yard and a half, maybe 2-yard line.
And they tried to go to that left side again. That time the defensive line told him that he had nowhere to go, and they stopped him.
Some guys breathing hard out there a little bit for the Maroons. I see Adam Moore in the center of that picture, resting on one knee, trying to get a little air and try to hang in there, keep Central Catholic out of the end zone. This is a key play, 3rd and goal from the 2 for Central Catholic. Weiler will spin, hand it off. Brock puts his head down and is able to get in there for the score. The first score of the ball game goes to the Bloomington Central Catholic Saints. They chewed up a bunch of the clock. We're down to 4:01 to go in the first quarter of play, so they burned 8 minutes, practically 8 minutes off the clock to get the opening score of the ball game. It'll go as a 2-yard touchdown run for Kevin Brockton. Central Catholic leads 6-0.
And it should be no surprise Brock got the touchdown. He got the majority of the load coming down the field. In that drive alone, he had 8 carries for 34 yards. As they look to get it to him most of the time on the offensive side of the ball.
Well, he puts it in the end zone from 2 yards out. Now the kick for the extra point coming up here. Jason Sproul, 6'3", he's a good one. They were printing in the paper he can hit field goals from 50 yards out, so this should be a little chip shot. It's blocked by the Maroons. Coming through there and knocking it down is Josh Wilson. Josh fired through and the ball went straight in the air as he deflected it away, and so as it remains, the Maroons will be down by just 6-0. Great play by Josh Wilson.
Yeah, you can have a great kicker all you want, but when you have defensive penetration like Josh Wilson there, he didn't have time to kick it, and it was a great defensive play.
We'll be back with Central Catholic's kickoff in just a moment as they lead the Maroons with 4 minutes to go in the first period of play, 6-0.
Clinton Chiropractic Center, under the direction of Dr. Gregory Allen, specializes in the treatment of conditions affecting the spine and joints resulting from auto accidents, stress, sports, and work-related injuries. For an appointment, call Clinton Chiropractic Center at 935-6555, located at 203 East Side Square.
6-0, Central Catholic has the lead as they're ready to kick off now to the Maroons with 4:01 to go in the first period of play. Deep for the Maroons, and they are deep. Back near the goal line is Schumacher and also Ijones. And a high end-over-end kick. Schumacher at the 5. Has it to the 10-yard line. Waits for the wedge to set up in front. Looks for a little opening. Can't find much of one. And goes down about the 21, maybe 22-yard line as he was swarmed under by the Central Catholic special teams that hustle downfield. And the Maroons will start about 78 yards away from pay dirt, trying to get back even in this ballgame, trailing 6-0.
Yeah, it's not really great field possession for the Maroons, but it's a look at the offense. It looks to be explosive, and I talked with Coach Knutson a little bit, and he said it looks like they're going to pass the ball some tonight.
Well, I would imagine so. Nate Sams, under quarterback, fakes the handoff, slips and goes down as he tried to plant his foot to pass downfield, and you know, this is the thing that we're concerned about. Will he have time to throw the football? He had some time, but he was knocked down after he slipped and didn't have much time to look upfield as a linebacker looked like to be in his face as he tried to plant his foot.
Yeah, he tried to plant his foot, slipped a little bit, and then Nick Propercy hit him in the backfield for the sack. And they got a loss of 6 on the play.
Yeah, a loss of about 6. 2nd and 16 as the Maroons now are back to their own 16-yard line. They've got 3 wide receivers to the right-hand side, 1 lone back in the backfield, and Sam's rolling out right, gets a little bit of a block. Under some pressure, still rolling out right. Sproul chasing him. He throws it up for grabs. It's intercepted, and a run back to about the 16-yard line. That pass was well short of his intended receiver, Josh Wilson, and an easy pickoff for Central Catholic's star so far in this ball game, the guy that scored the touchdown on offense just a little bit ago. Kevin Brock picks it off and runs it back about 4 yards to the 16-yard line, and the first turnover of the ball game early for the Maroons. That hurts.
Yeah, well, Nate was on the run, and that's why he threw it short. He just didn't have time to plant, and the line just couldn't give him enough time on that play.
I was in there. I think I said a Sproul. It was David Wiltz, the guy that caught the first down pass down about the 7-yard line on offense a moment ago. The big guy, he's 6'4.5", giving chase on Nate and pressured Nate into that bad pass. Here's Wilder on an option, spins away from a man, then dives forward and gets to about the 15-yard line. Maroons had a shot at dropping him maybe for a loss on the play, but he spun out of Lucas Ward's hands. But Lucas tripped him up enough to keep him from gaining very much. Only a yard. 2nd and 9 coming up for the Saints. They're at the 15-yard line of the Maroons. Mike Craig was right down there along the sideline in the vicinity of where Nate Sams was being chased. It looked like he was under a lot of pressure. Do you think that's what caused the turnover, Mike, from where you were?
Yeah, he was under a lot of pressure. They flushed him. I don't think he was really wanting to roll clear to the sideline, but Igems was covered up pretty well. I think that's who he was looking for.
Okay. Now on a 2nd down and 9 from the 15-yard line for Central Catholic. Wilder with a long call again. Still waiting. Now has the football. Hands it off to the first man, Kiley. Grab from behind and throw down after a gain of a couple more yards. It's Lucas Ward again in on the tackle for the Maroons. A gain of about 2 or 3 on the play. They're down to the 12-yard line, and Central Catholic will have a 3rd down, and it looks like about 6 coming up here as we're down to 1:47, 1:46 to go in the first quarter play, and the Saints leading 6-0.
Another trap up the middle, and nice job there by Lucas Ward. Wrapped him up before he could get downfield. Hopefully Maroons come up with a stop here and make him try to use Sproul again instead of having to make a defensive stand on the goal line.
See if Weiler's going to put it in the air like he did before and look for his big target Wiltz in first down range. Option left. He's going to keep it, and he's caught from behind and drugged down. Let's double check and see who was there. The first man there for the Maroons that really was the man that made the play was Clyde Leggett. C.O. Leggett had his arms around him. He slipped out for a moment, and then the rest of the Maroons were there to finish him off. But it was Clyde that made the play and dropped him for a loss of another yard in the play. It's 4th. And a good 7, almost 8 to go for a first down. And it looks like we're going to have about a 31-yard field goal attempt coming up here for Central Catholic and Jason Sproul.
Yeah, Clyde is the returning starter on the right side, and he showed why there as he let the option go nowhere as he stopped Wilder right at the line.
From the left hash mark after having his extra point attempt blocked a moment ago. He has time this time, gets the kick away. It looks like it has the distance, and it's online. It's through the uprights and good. Timeout on the field. 40 seconds to go in the first quarter of play. Central Catholic leads the Maroons by a score of 9-0 now. Back with the Central Catholic kickoff in a moment.
The Warm Neighbors Fund pays heating bills for people in need. It also weatherizes homes, which helps reduce future heating bills. Warm Neighbors is administered by the Energy Assistance Foundation, a nonprofit organization formed in 1982 with a $250,000 donation from Illinois Power. Last year alone, your contributions and major funding from Illinois Power provided warmth for over 2,000 families.
Clinton Maroons trailing 9-0. They could use a good return as Sproul will hit it deep, I'm sure. Schumacher and Igems awaiting, and it bounces, goes through them all, and it's going to go into the end zone. It's a touchback. Maroons will start at the 20-yard line this time. Last time they started at the 22 and turned the ball over on an interception on their second play from the line of scrimmage. So far, this offensive line that we've wondered how they would perform hasn't had much of a chance to do anything. They've had 2 plays to try to block on, so it's early to see how they're going to do, but they need to rise to the occasion now here late in the first quarter of play. The Maroons need to get a score on the board as soon as possible.
Yeah, well, it's just kind of like St. Teresa's game against us last year. You can't work too much on offense when the other team's offense just overwhelmingly holding the ball.
Nate Sams wanting to hand off, but flags fly at the snap of the football. And who's this going to be against? Probably against the Maroons. No, offside Central Catholic. Yeah, here I am guessing on the first penalty of the season, and I was wrong. So there's the first 5 yards for the Maroons offense so far this year on a penalty. We'll hope there's plenty more in the conventional manner for the Maroons, and I'm sure there will be. they rotate guys along the line with the plays in and out of there right now. Coming in, looks like with the play on the first down and 5, Sam Simpson is coming off the field with Thad Harnett. Thad getting a start, his first year of football, and Thad's out there as an offensive tackle for the Clinton Maroons, but he's out on this play. So on 1st and 5, let's see what Nate Sams wants to do. Everyone's tight on the line of scrimmage. Double tight end formation. They'll try the run. Option for Sams, cuts it upfield, and then dropped about a yard short of a first down, it looks like, at the 29-yard line. Nate not in a hurry, trying to pick his holes, and he was able to find enough to get close to a first down, maybe be, it looks like, about a yard, maybe a half yard short of a first down.
Yeah, they ran the option to the left side that time. Before they had a really wide-out formation. Now they went into the I formation, and it looked like they had a good pull on that left side. Nate got 4 yards.
12 seconds to go in the first period of play. This should probably be the final play of the first period. It'd be good for the Maroons to get their first down of the ball game here. On 2nd down and 1, they're going to try a throw. They've got the throw to Schumacher for a first down. He fumbled the football, though, and Central Catholic appears to have it if that's the way they're going to rule it. Schumacher had it stripped after he had the first down near the 35-yard line. They poked it away. The ball went back to about the 29-yard line, and Central Catholic dove on the football. And is that what we see from the official? It will be recovered by Central Catholic, and our first period ends on a sour note for the Clinton Maroons. They had a drive going, but they cough it up, their second turnover of the football game. We'll see what the defense can do this time when we come back with the second quarter in just a moment, and Central Catholic leading by a 9-0 score.
It's 1:47 on a Thursday afternoon, and you need to get to the bank. Why worry? The John Warner Bank lobby is open until 3 p.m. every day during the week, including Thursday afternoons. And for those of you who find 3 a little early and need to see us before our Friday and Saturday weekend hours, our drive-up is there for you every Monday through Friday evening until 6 p.m.
Back here at Clinton High School, the Maroons on the wrong end of a 9-0 score, and Central Catholic taking another Maroons turnover, this time a fumble. We'll have it at the Maroon 29-yard line. Mike Craig's been down there along the sideline. Mike, so far things aren't looking real good. What's the attitude of the team along the sideline? Are they still fired up, still hanging in there?
They still seem to be fired up, but boy, you sure can't turn the ball over like that, Larry.
Well, Maroons had their first down of the ball game if Shue had been able to hang on to the football, but somebody on the far side of the field made a good defensive play. We got to give Central Catholic credit. They knew how to strip the ball from him. All right, here we go on 1st down and 10 for Central Catholic at the 29 of the Maroons. Wilder, of course, back in there, quarterback, as they head now toward the north goal. 2 wide receivers to the left-hand side. Kiley will get the handoff, falls backwards, and only gets a yard or two as the Maroons swarm him under in the middle of the line. I want to give credit to some of these linemen now that we get a chance as we move into the second quarter of play. The guy that had him around the ankles that time was Kevin McCleary, and then a whole bunch of others grabbed him up high and knocked him down. A gain of only about 1 yard on the play for Kiley. And really, the Maroons' interior of their line has not done too bad a job. Certainly, the Maroons have not given up any big plays defensively. Central Catholic had a good drive, moved it down the field for their opening score, and then the Maroons held them after a turnover to only a field goal. They didn't gain much yardage at all in their second drive, so defensively, you can't be too disappointed with the way the Maroons are playing so far.
Yeah, the Saints have tried to go up the middle, but the line has been stopping them just about every time.
Wilder will hand it off to Brand. He'll try to get outside. They force him inside, and a grab from behind, and a tackle made by McCleary, chastening from behind. He got help on the play for the Maroons from Adam Moore. McCleary's wearing 75 for those of you watching it on the replay, and Moore's wearing number 60, and those two guys combined on the tackle, a gain of about 3 yards on the play to the 25-yard line. It's 3rd down and 6 coming up for Central Catholic.
Yeah, once again, they went to that left side. It looks like that's the one where they want to go to, especially with the linemen they have on that side. They got Wills, of course, the tight end over there, but then that's also where they got Wolf located.
Wilder wanting to throw, has some time, rolls out right. Now he wants to run with the football, and he's able to dodge a couple of tackles, and he appears to have a first down at the 18-yard line. He dodged an attempted tackle by Josh Wilson back about the 25-yard line. Had Josh been able to stay with him and make the play, he would have been short of the first down. Now Wilder is a little slow getting up after the tackle was made by the Maroons. Who was that again? That was McCleary, still giving chase. Good hustle by Kevin McCleary, and that's the type of player he is. He never gives up. He continues hustling, even though he's at a line position this year.
Yeah, he made a play downfield from his lineman position.
Wilder's going out. Wilder shook up on the play on the tackle. And who's going to take over at quarterback for Central Catholic? We'll wait and see as they break huddle. Central will have to switch the quarterback spot, and stepping into that role, he's been playing a lot of wide receivers. Kevin Dunn. Dunn, who's 160 pounds, a junior, and he's going to hand off on the first play on a 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line, and not much gain for Brock that time, as he might have got a yard trying the left-hand side once again, Joe, as you've been pointing out, maybe to the 16-yard line and maybe a yard and a half gain on the play, as it turns out. And Wilder was being hampered by some type of leg injury there when he went off the football field. We'll try to keep an eye on the far side of the field over there and give you any more information as soon as we can. But it's Kevin Dunn under quarterback now for Central Catholic. High formation, Kylie behind him, and also Brock. Long call, one wide receiver each side, and he'll hand it off, and Kylie gets a call on a little bit of a delay. Nate Sams sticks him first and gets help on the play. Bob Igens was there. They only get to maybe the 15-yard line. It'll be third down and still a good 7 for Central Catholic. This may hamper their offensive effort a little bit here, losing their starting quarterback for a while. We'll see how long Wilder is out, but he is still out with Dunn in at quarterback right now.
Yeah, Dunn hasn't attempted a pass. Of course, Wilder only had attempted 2, but looks like he's trying to hand off. And we had heard that Kylie would really be the horse of the offense, but Brock is the one with 10 carries already.
Yeah, he really has been the workhorse so far. So wide receivers each way. And they will sprint out left and look downfield. Fired for the left-hand corner. It's overshot. Drops incomplete at the goal line. Intended for Andy Yeager, who is really closer to the 5-yard line. Overthrown by the reserve quarterback, Kevin Dunn. And the Maroons defense does its job here. It holds, but Central Catholic, even though the line of scrimmage is the 15, they're still in scoring position. With the kicking game that they had, Jason Sproul will come on and try another field goal. And this looks like, again, it'll be another 31-yarder. This one will be from closer to the middle of the field this time. And he'll be kicking to the north, but there's absolutely no breeze right now, so he won't have any wind affecting this kick.
Yeah, well, with them saying that he can hit the 50-yard lines anytime they get to the opponent's 30, they're a scoring threat.
Dunn will be the holder. The placement down, the kick on the way. It's curving to the left, and it's no good as he missed it badly wide to the left. So the defense does its job. Let's see if we can get this offense going. Some of the fans on their feet, the whole crowd very appreciative of the effort by the Maroons defense. And, Joe, in my opinion, this defense doesn't look too bad at all. They're doing their job. They're playing well out there, and nothing to be ashamed of defensively so far tonight for the Clinton Maroons.
Yeah, they've really stuffed, as you mentioned, the interior line hasn't given it all. They've tried a number of traps that really have only went for a yard or two. It's really the only time they're getting hurt is sometimes they get some gains on the left side, but really the defensive line is holding well, and the linebackers are doing a nice job of wrapping them up after they get past the line.
Can the offense get on track? They've shot themselves in the foot twice so far in their first 2 possessions of the ball game. Sams on the option right, finds a little opening, still on his feet. He's at the 25 and is struck down from behind as he falls forward to the 27-yard line. This probably will be a lot of the offense this year for the Maroons. The option was Sams doing a lot of the running, and that was a 7-yard pickup, their best gain of the night so far. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 3 coming up for the Maroons at their own 27-yard line.
Yeah, Sams did do some option last year. Not as much as the year before, but we remember when Conley went out with the injury against Eureka and couldn't really play that much. He had a big touchdown game against Eureka. I think he had 2 or 3.
Certainly did. He's going to roll out right, drop off a short pass. It's bobbled around, and unable to hold on to it is Josh Wilson. It finally hits the ground incomplete as he was hit about the time he was going to finally try to grab hold of that thing. Josh just bobbled it around. It was too easy of a play. They were just trying to dump it off to the back out of the backfield, and Josh didn't watch it all the way in. I think he was trying to run before he had the football. Yeah, that happens. That happens to the best of them. Pros have been known to do that from time to time.
Yeah, it looked like he tried to turn it up too quick, but also I don't think he first saw the ball being thrown to him either, and he just caught it out of the corner of his eye.
3rd and 3 for the Maroons. Sams, quick pass on the right flat. Igens, he's got a man there, but he's able to juke him and beat him, and he's about a yard short of the 1st down as he cuts it upfield and goes down at the 29-yard line. And the Maroons are a yard short of the 1st down. And they will probably have to punt the footballs this deep in their own territory. We're in the 2nd period of play. Under 8 minutes ago in the 2nd period of play here at Clinton High School, and Central Catholic is leading the Clinton Maroons 9-0. They scored on their opening drive, and then they kicked a field goal on their 2nd possession. The Maroons held in the 3rd possession. Are the Maroons going to go for it?
Yeah. Yeah, of course we wouldn't know because Nate's the punter, but it looks like
they're going to try to draw him offsides here. We'll see what happens. And yeah, they did it. They drew Central Catholic offside.
That was exactly what they did last year in those situations, Larry, and it came through again.
Boy, I tell you, you would think that a school like Central Catholic, the 3A champions, would be aware of the fact, hey, but Central Catholic's so pumped, their adrenaline's flowing, they're like, we got to stuff these guys. They're going to go from their own 29. And Mike Craig, you were down there in the sideline. Tell Meyer to be quiet for a second. Can you believe that we were able to draw Central Catholic offsides?
Well, I think it happened pretty quick, and they just hard count. And both interior linemen jumped, I believe.
Yeah. Oh, they had a couple jump off sides. Maroons with a 1st down at their own 34-yard line. They'll try to quick opener up the middle, and it's a good gainer for the Maroons all the way out to the 34-yard line. Good run for Josh Wilson out of the backfield, and the Maroons are close to a second first down now. Here midway through the second quarter of play, and this has got some new life into the Maroons offense.
Yeah, the first try for Josh, they ran a trap up the middle. He just ran through the line and the linebackers. The secondary had to make the tackle for BCC, and he looked like he had some life in his legs.
He was the lone back in the backfield. They had 3 wide receivers to the left-hand side. They were looking for the pass. Now man in motion is Igems. They'll pitch it to Igems. He'll try to get around the left corner. He's got the first down as he beats one man. He's across midfield and out of bounds at about the 48-yard line. And the Maroons offense, with their second first down of the ball game now here midway through the second quarter, is into Central Catholic territory for the first time tonight.
And there, of course, with Bobby being as fast as he is, they're going to try to utilize him out of the backfield. And they ran the misdirection that time, and it paid big dividends for the first down.
They gave him all the way to the 46-yard line, and the Maroons are quickly up to the line of scrimmage. Wilson's the only man in the backfield. Schumacher's wide to the right-hand side. They've got Rich now in motion from left to right. They fake the handoff. They'll bring it around misdirection. It's Igems up the middle again. He has to jump over one of his linemen. He got inside the 45, maybe to the 44 on forward progress, a gain of almost 2 yards on the play before Kiley made the tackle for Central Catholic. Maroons using a lot of misdirection here, and it's bothering Central Catholic a little bit.
Yeah, they didn't look like they really could tell who had the ball the last play with Igems, and that's why he got the 7 yards there. Looks like Kiley picked up on it that time, but the misdirection could be a big play for the Maroons tonight.
Wes Graves goes wide to the left-hand side. Again, Rich is in the slot on the left-hand side. Schumacher wide to the right. Here's Igems in motion. Back to pass. Sands pops it way too high for Schumacher over his head near the 40-yard line, and incomplete. Just overshot him by a couple of yards. As Schumacher could get up in the air a little bit, but there was no way he was going to get to that football. And it'll bring up a 3rd down and 9 now for the Maroons, just inside the 45-yard line of Central Catholic. Here's a big 3rd down play for the Maroons offense.
And I think maybe the pass could have been tipped a little bit at the line, too. It looked like Wolf might have got a hand on it, knocked it up a little bit.
I didn't notice that. Here's Rich split now side by side with Wilson in the backfield. They will both pass protect as Sams is going to throw deep down the field. Igems on the fly, overshot him at the 15-yard line. Man-for-man coverage there, and it was pretty good coverage, although Igems had a shot at catching that football, but step for step was Kevin Dunn, and it goes incomplete. 4th down now for the Maroons, and, well, let's see. 5 yards won't get us a first down here. What will we do at the 44, 45-yard line of Central Catholic on this 4th down and about 9 to go for a first down? We're down to just past the halfway point of the second quarter, just under 6 minutes ago before halftime. 9-0 Central Catholic with the lead. Maroons are going up to the line of scrimmage again. The offense stays on the field, at least at this point. Well, no, wait a second. Sams is in shotgun, and he handled the punting chores last year. He's awaiting the football. He will kick it. Boots it high in the air. No one is deep. It will bound at the 10, and the Maroons will down it there. Schumacher's there to down it at about the 5-yard line. And a good play for the Maroons as Sams will get credit for about a 40-yard punt there. And now the official has spotted the ball closer to the 2-yard line. He actually grabbed it about the 5. We'll have to wait and see exactly where they will spot it, but Central Catholic will be pretty deep when they take over on this possession.
Central Catholic was fooled on the play. Nate lined up kind of in a shotgun formation really close to the line. Usually when you punt, you move back a little ways, but he did punt the ball. Nonetheless, they didn't have anybody back, and Clinton got down there and down the ball.
The rest of the officiating crew has made it down to the football field, and they have moved the ball back to the 5-yard line where we thought they would mark it. 1st and 10 for Central Catholic at their own 5, and the quarterback situation is back to the starter now. Wilder is back in there. Apparently has recovered from that leg injury, and he's back in there at the controls. He'll hand off right up the middle, and Igems has to make the tackle on Brock. And Brock got good yardage across the 10-yard line, out to about the 12-yard line. A quick pop for maybe about 7 yards, and Central Catholic will have a 2nd down and about 3 coming up as they get it away from their own goal line here as we move into the latter stages of the second period of play in a 9-0 Central Catholic lead.
Once again, ran a trap up the middle with Brock that time, and he looks to be carrying the load as he's now got 11 carries. It looks like they want to get him the ball a lot.
2 wide receivers to the left-hand side. They'll hand it off to the 2nd man, and Brock again, the ball carrier, would appear, dives forward maybe to the 14-yard line. I think he'll still be short of a first down by a yard or so as we'll wait for them to unravel. They're moving toward the north goal. It'll be 3rd down and 1 coming up now for the Saints. We're down to 4:47, 4:46 to go in the second quarter of play. And at halftime, you've got an interview for us that you taped earlier, I understand.
Yeah, I interviewed Randy Rich. He's a cornerback on the defensive side and running back on the offensive side. He had plenty of good things to say.
So on our live radio broadcast, a taped interview with Randy Rich. Stay tuned for that. Quarterback keeper, and what do we have here? I think he got enough for the first down yardage. The Maroons pushed the lineman back pretty well, but nobody was able to stop Wilder as he was able to get it across the 15 to near the 16-yard line, and just enough for a first down. What's that? Yeah, 15, 16-yard line. You're on the wrong line of scrimmage there, Joe. That's your first error of the night. Other than that, you've been doing fine. Really better than last year, I have to admit. Of course, this is your sophomore season. Don't let that sophomore jinx get to you, okay?
Well, I should be better. I know what to expect from you this year. So.
Yeah, you do. Back to pass. Wilder looking deep downfield. Fires it down there. Schumacher's there. He's got his first interception of the season. Breaks away from the intended receiver. Gets a block upfield. He's to the 40. Now tries to juke back toward the center field. He'll be brought down at the 36. He will not go down, but he will be stopped, and the Maroons will have the football at the 36 of Central Catholic. The pass was overthrown for Andy Yeager, and Schumacher caught it about the 45, got about a 10-yard return, maybe 9-yard return on it, and the Maroons will have first and 10. They're going to spot him back at about the 38-yard line. I guess they said he was still trying to get forward progress and backtracked on his own. So at the 39-yard line, they finally spot it. First and 10 for the Maroons in Central Catholic territory after the first interception, and I'm sure it won't be the last for Ryan Schumacher.
Saints tried to throw a post that time to Yeager, and Schumacher was the deep man. They had an underneath man with the help, but he caught the interception ball.
Sam's option left on first down. Going to keep the football. Breaks a couple of tackles. Finds an opening. He's down the sideline. One man to beat. 10, 5, touchdown, Maroons!
Yeah.
All right. Sam's on the option left. Takes it all the way. A 39-yard run for the score, and the Maroons are back within 3 of Central Catholic. High five me, Joe. 9-6. What a sweet run by Nate Sams.
Nate got past the line of scrimmage, and he took off. He was gone. Nobody touched him. I mean, it's not like he broke tackles or anything. He just took off like a galloping ghost. I mean, he wasn't touched after he got past the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he had one man glance off of him near the line of scrimmage, or just beyond the line of scrimmage, but after that, he had open field. He had one guy chasing him from behind, but man, Nate's got some jets, doesn't he? And he outran them all to the end zone.
And that's, of course, the option play. That's the one kicked outside. They have one that they kick outside where Nate's the primary outside guy, and they also have one where they pitch out to the fullback.
Crowd kind of oohing and awing. Josh Wilson is not feeling very well at all. I mean, you can visibly see it from up here in the booth, and we don't need to be any more descriptive than that. That's enough to tell you. But he is not feeling very well at all. He can't even quite make it to the sideline, and the trainer's out there with him, and it's not a pretty sight. But hopefully Josh can bounce back, get some more fluids in him. You know, it's muggy out here. It's been hot this summer. It's muggy tonight. It's tough conditions out there, and these football players, you know, have to be in good condition. And, of course, this has nothing to do with how good a condition you're in. But, I mean, this is tough circumstances to be playing football under with all these pads and everything on.
Yeah, this is the sacrifice you make for moving the season up a week. You play in the hotter conditions, and it works good come playoff time, but right now it's affecting the players.
Let's talk about how valuable this young man is, though. Josh Wilson, I mean, he's just a junior, but he tough as nails last year as a sophomore. He's a linebacker. He's been running out of the backfield for the Maroons here on offense, and they need this guy. He blocked the extra point after Central Catholic's first touchdown. He's a valuable man, and I hope he can play some more football before the night's over. I guess the Maroons, or either there's an official's timeout or the Maroons have been forced to use a timeout here. Well, the Maroons have just scored a touchdown, 3:25 to go in the second quarter play, and this touchdown has brought Clinton within 3 points, 9-6 on the scoreboard. So number 5 leads number 10 in the Class 3A rankings by 3 here as we close in on halftime.
Yeah, Wilson is very important. I mean, last year when Jeff Wilson got injured, Josh stepped in, did a good job.
That's right.
And Josh also had a key block for Nate to spring that 38-yard run as a linebacker came up in the line of scrimmage. Not the one that you'd mentioned that Nate glanced off of, but another one, and Josh Wilson put a block on him, and that kicked Nate free to the outside.
Josh is going to walk off the rest of the way now off the field. He was about 5 yards off the side of the field. And he walks off under his own power. He's going to try to shake it off and hang in there, but that's a tough situation. Well, Mike Craig, you were down there on the sideline. You saw Nate Sams go by you. Was he a blur when he went by you down there about the 5-yard line?
He was kind of picking his way around the corner, and then Wilson did make that good block, and he turned it up and went. He was burning up the sideline.
Yeah, he certainly was. And, you know, we've been worried about this offensive line, but they're getting the job done so far tonight. It started out a little slow, but that fourth down play when we drew them off sides, even though we had to punt the football after that, that play kind of spurred this football team on, and we've really bounced back since then. And what's your assessment of the play of the offensive line?
Well, I tell you, Larry, I don't think they're going to be real strong up the middle, but I think they're going to be quick enough that with the option, if they can get the fullback up to make the block, and with Nate's size, he's going to shed a lot of tackles at the line of scrimmage, and with his long stride, a couple little blocks, and he can go, 8-10 yards to carry it. I think he'll have to carry it, 12, 14 times every night.
Ryan Schumacher's got an interception already here in the first game. No surprise there. I mean, he picked off a bunch last year, and he had his man well covered on that one, didn't he, out about midfield?
Yeah, he was in good position. He was in front on the inside and covered him up. I think if we can run at the strong side, their linebacker on the outside out here seems to be a little bit slow.
Really? Which one's that?
44.
44? Okay. Obviously, Kylie is pretty quick and tough as nails at the other linebacker. We'll watch for that. We got an extra point attempt coming up here. It looks like the Maroons are going to go for 2. No, excuse me, I spoke too soon. Yeah, we are. We're going to go for 2. I didn't speak too soon. I don't know what I'm speaking about. The Maroons are lined up with 3 in the backfield, and they'll try the run to right side and not able to get it. No gain on the play at all. So the Maroons are thwarted on the conversion, but they're within 3. We'll take time out here at Clinton High School. 3:25 to go before halftime. Central Catholic leads our Maroons 9-6. Mike Craig's down there on the sideline. Mike, I know you don't want to get too close to our fine linebacker slash runner out of the backfield, Josh Wilson, and kicker. Well, you can't right now. He's back out on the football field. He's amazing. I was going to ask you to go over and check and see how he's doing, but forget that. Your job is history. He's out on the football field, so he must be doing okay.
Yeah, he's pretty tough. He was just a little bit overheated, I believe.
Okay. All right, we're going to get back to the play-by-play, but you keep us posted on any injuries or illnesses or anything like that down there in the sideline if you can. Wilson will kick it off. End-over-end kick, line drive style. It'll be taken at about the 15-yard line, and Yeager's going to try to take it to the left-hand side. Schumacher grabs him from behind, hangs on, and finally pulls him down at the 28-yard line. Rich was there to help out on the tackle, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Central Catholic at about their own 28 or 29-yard line. They'll have 3 minutes and 17 seconds to try to move with the football here before halftime. And in the third quarter of play, Joe Spencer, you'll step aside and allow the special fill-in color commentator from the Clinton YMCA, Doug Neuschwander, to grace the microphone for one period of play, if we can bear it. Now, we can gong him if we have to and throw him out early if we have to, okay?
Yeah, for all the fans, I'm feeling fine. It's just we're going to give Doug an opportunity.
Yeah, you're not feeling ill either. Okay, all right, good deal. Out of the I formation on 1st down. Long call by Wilder. He'll hand it off first man. No, he'll keep it on the option right. He's got an opening. He didn't just fool me. He breaks into the clear. He might get this touchdown back for Central Catholic. He's at the 40, 30. Schumacher's going to chase him down. He fakes Schumacher, but Schu brings him down at the 10-yard line. But that's a big gain for Central Catholic. And I'm looking for flags, and unfortunately, I don't see any. It's a 1st down near the 10-yard line for Central Catholic on the quarterback keeper by Wilder. And Schu did a good job chasing him down. He didn't look like he was going to have enough speed or the angle to catch him, but he closed in a hurry and was able to grab and wrestle him down at the 10-yard line to save the touchdown for Central Catholic.
Yeah, it looked like if Wilder didn't try to juke Schumacher that he might have been able to get past him, but he tried to make a move. And
Schu had him there at the end. I didn't think so early, but he had him at the end regardless. But that helped him out a little bit, I guess. Don't cut me off, right? That's what you're thinking right now. From the eye. And I think it's a 1st and 10. They can get a 1st down near about the 1-foot line, it looks like. Long call again by Wilder. He's still trying to catch his breath, I imagine. Has the football. He'll pitch it. Brock trying to get around the corner. Being chased from behind. Wilson dove for him, missed him, but they got a tackle by Nate Sams at the 5-yard line. And they'll have a 2nd down and about 5 to go at the 5-yard line of the Maroons. Central Catholic, a big play from the line of scrimmage. Wilder running it from about his own 29-yard line down to the Maroons' 10. Have them threatening again as they lead the Maroons by 3 with under 2 minutes to go. And here's a timeout on the field for a moment. We have equipment problems for both teams. We have one player for the Maroons defensively needing some attention with his equipment, and we had a player for Central Catholic with the helmet off attending to something. So a brief timeout on the field. They stop the clock. But they'll get things squared away in just a second. For the Maroons, jogging off the near sideline was Jim Savage, who not all that big, but he's tough. He's starting at that nose guard spot, a wrestler. And now we have timeout taken on the field. So he's getting that equipment taken care of, and the Maroons Chuck Nagel wants to talk to his defense. We'll take timeout also with 1:56 to go before halftime. Central Catholic threatening and leading by 3 points, 9-6.
People keep coming to Dave's Food Basket again and again. Let's find out why.
I actually choose to drive to Clinton from Forsyth to shop at Dave's. The main reason is quality service. I think all of the products.
Brock on the run, down close to the goal line. Brock on the run is very close to the goal line, but no sign from the officials. And we'll have to wait and see if they got the first down, as they could get a first down near the 1-foot line if he has enough yardage for that. So they will stop the clock to look that over. Central Catholic will either have a third down at about the half-yard line in inches, or a first and goal from there, and they're looking awfully good to open their lead back up over the Maroons a little bit. That run by Wilder, obviously a big one after they had taken some wind out of Central Catholic sails. The Maroons did with their touchdown. And obviously, they're pumped back up again and threatening to put some points on the board, and it is a first down. They'll have first and goal from less than a yard.
Yeah, well, last year they're a championship caliber team, and they know when a team scores a touchdown like Sam's, you can't let them take the wind out of your sails. You got to come right back, and it was a big run from Wilder to answer. And they've been staying behind Wiltz and the big guys on that left side to try to pound it in.
One wide receiver to the right-hand side. Power I formation in the backfield. Kylie and Brock. Wilder will hand it off. Brock middle, and there's a flag on the play as he dives into the end zone. He didn't make it by much, and let's wait and see what the flag is. We'll wait and see if the touchdown's going to stand. It's a procedure penalty against Central Catholic. That is costly for the Saints.
Fourth penalty on the Saints, none for Clinton.
That'll push him back 5 yards. The big key in this football game for Clinton has been their 2 turnovers early. They were costly for the Maroons, at least one of them, costly in the giving Central Catholic a field goal and not giving the Maroons a chance to move the football at all offensively. The Maroons have not touched the ball near as much on offense as Central Catholic has, but Sam's intercepted once and Schumacher fumbling the football once has helped Central Catholic to this 3-point lead. Now it's first and goal from outside the 5-yard line for Central Catholic. Wilder, he fumbled the football, and I think the Maroons have it. We don't have an official signal. Now we do. They have it. Wilder did not come away from center with the football cleanly. He dropped it on the ground, and Clinton comes out with a football. And one of those big linemen comes out with a football, I believe. They're giving credit over the public address system to Wes Graves. I don't really care who came out with a football. The Maroons have it.
Yeah, it looked like Wes could have got it, or Jimmy Savage came out of there.
I saw Adam Moore in the vicinity also. So one of those guys came up with the football.
Well,
Wilder.
It doesn't really matter. Clinton gets the ball.
Clinton gets the ball, and when it looked like we were going to be down by more than a touchdown again, we're not. We're only down by 3. Now, will we play it conservative, or will we try to get a score here? We're back at our own 7-yard line. Little misdirection. They'll try to run up the middle, and it's Wilson. He's unbelievable. Wilson on the run gets it out beyond the 10. Out to about the 11-yard line. The Maroons are firing out there. We saw somebody, it was Wes Graves, downfield, make a hard block on somebody well ahead of the play, not quitting on it. Timeout by Central Catholic. 55 seconds to go. We'll keep it here. 55 seconds to go before halftime. It's a 3-point lead for Central Catholic as the Maroons defense helped by a penalty and then recovering a fumble by Central Catholic. I mean, let's face it, Central Catholic had a first and goal about 6 inches from the goal line, and they come away empty. Well, that's a big turnaround for the Clinton Maroons, and even though if they go to the locker room here at halftime trailing by the 3 they're trailing by right now, what a big lift going to the locker room regardless.
Yeah, that's a big momentum breaker for BCC, and it also pumps up a fired-up young defensive team for Clinton. And Clinton's got a few turnovers now on their own with the interception and the fumble, and hopefully we know they can pass the ball with Nate and Bobby and Ryan Schumacher, so maybe they can come back down and have one of those drives like last year where they go a lot of yards in a few seconds.
This game a little different than last year's game up there at ISU, Joe? Just a little?
Yeah, just a little. I mean,
35-0, we trailed at halftime, and we didn't do anything right in that first half of play last year. We really turned it around in the second half, but we dug ourselves too big a hole, and then losing 42-19 to Central Catholic. Nothing to be ashamed of. They won the 3A championship last year, but we want to knock them down this year. We got them 2 years ago on this football field, 15-12. They only won 2 ball games that year, though, and they're going to be much better this year. Sam's on an option. Pitches at the last second. He's got it in the hands of Randy Rich, who's cut from behind and drugged down at the 22-yard line. Rich was in the clear for a moment, but then was caught from behind by Central Catholic's defender on that play, who plays both ways out there, one in a wide receiver and defensively at a cornerback, Kevin Dunn, or safety, actually. But it's a first down play, and the clock is moving now. 44 seconds ago. Maroons have the football with a first down at the 23, their own 23-yard line.
That's a big tackle for Dunn, because if he doesn't knock down Randy Rich, he's got a lot more pasture to roam.
Yes, sir. On the left hash mark, Sams will go to the right-hand side. Up the middle, it's Wilson. Good carry. Close to a first down, maybe about a yard short as the Maroons run it on the ground. Central Catholic, of course, is being wary of any deep play, and they're going to give up a little yardage. It's a gain of about 9 for Wilson, 2nd and 1, but the clock is running down to 15 seconds. This is a lot of the same group that pulled out some miracles in the last seconds of ball games last year. Can they pull off a big surprise here with maybe the final play? 5 seconds, 4 seconds. This is the final play of the first half. Quick pass, hook and ladder. Schumacher off to Rich, but he's knocked out of bounds. They read it well. Defended well by Central Catholic as Rich was run out of bounds by Andy Yeager at about the 42-yard line. And we are at halftime. A good ball game, and boy, the Clinton fans on their feet giving the Maroons a hand for a great effort in the first half of play when it didn't start off very well in the first quarter of play. At halftime, as we'll take a break, Central Catholic leads the Maroons 9-6. There we go. That would probably help a little bit. Back here live at Clinton High School on Clinton Cable TV, Channel 10. And Doug Neuschwander has joined us in the booth. Doug, I'm so glad you could make it up here to see some football action. You know, you have to have your microphone on, though. That would help a little bit if you had your microphone on. Central Catholic has the football, and they'll run it on the first down play at about the 45-yard line. And they'll pick up about 2, maybe 3 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down and about 7 coming up for Central Catholic. And we've got it back on the radio now and also on TV. I don't know why we lost it on the radio, but I think we finally got it cleared away. If John will just hang up the phone back at the station, everything will be cleared up. Thank you very much. So we have a 2nd down and 7. We're at about the 48-yard line in Central Catholic territory for the Saints. And, you know, I think you're bad luck, Doug. As soon as you join me up here, all heck breaks loose and things aren't working. Kylie at the carry got about a yard.
There's a good play. I'm bringing some good luck to the Maroons now. I was really impressed with that first half. The Maroons have really done a job on defense. That front line has done more than I thought they could against that big front line of Central Catholic. They've done a great job.
3rd down and 7 for Central Catholic right at midfield. You know, we were just cruising along at halftime, having sandwiches, everything was fine, and then all heck broke loose. I don't know what it's going to sound like on TV the first minute or so of the second half.
We're going to find out later on, I'm sure.
Yeah, we'll smooth it out after a while. 9-6 Central Catholic with the lead. It's a big 3rd down and 7 play now for the Saints. And back to pass. Looking downfield. Wider flips it over the middle, and there was a collision.
Now,
but no flag on the play.
Incidental contact.
Now, one thing you have to learn with me, Doug, is you wait till I'm done before you talk. There is a penalty flag now, but I think it's because the Central Catholic coach was out on the field and arguing the play too much, wanting pass interference on Bob Ijams, who had the coverage on their big man there on that particular play. And that was, who was that for Central Catholic? I think that's their best receiver, Wiltz, who was the intended receiver, Dave Wiltz, on the play. But the penalty is going to come against Central Catholic. Unsportsmanlike conduct for out arguing the play, and they're still waving their arms around over there. Can't believe the fact that they didn't get the penalty call. But yes, they did get the penalty call. Unsportsmanlike conduct called against Central Catholic. They'll be back at their own 35-yard line with a 4th down and long coming up, and they'll be forced to punt.
Well, I think he had the wrong angle to the play because I saw it, an incidental contact. The guy just kind of tripped over his own feet over there, and it really wasn't a penalty. So he got himself into big trouble, that coach. That's good for them.
All right, for us. Line of scrimmage, 35-yard line. Doug Neuschwander, the director of the Clinton YMCA, for lack of a formal introduction earlier during the hecticness of trying to get hooked back up, has joined us for the 3rd quarter as the guest color commentator. Joe, you don't have to stand over in the corner like you're in trouble. You're okay. You can come over here.
You can come back and help me anytime, Joe.
He's keeping stats right now. That's his role, I guess. Central's got some trouble. They got a lineman coming off the field, and I think we may have another penalty coming up against Central Catholic. They took a long time before they got set for this play, and they're going to be called. Did they use a timeout? Maybe they used a timeout. Yes. Timeout. There's no flag on the play. Well, I need a break to get reorganized here. Timeout on the field. 10 minutes, 18 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter of play. Our score is Central Catholic leading Clinton Maroons by 3, 9-6.
Mark them down and move them out. That's the battle cry at
The
Wahoo.
third period of play, it's been a terrific ball game between number 5 and number 10 in Class 3A. Did you see that in the paper earlier this week, Doug? Could you believe it? Central Catholic 5th rated and the Maroons 10th rated in the state in the preseason poll.
No, I could not believe it, but those preseason polls you don't believe all the time. And I think Clinton is going to try to prove that tonight, that they're that high. I wouldn't believe it beforehand, but
Only one deep man on this punt standing about his own 32-yard line for the Maroons. Plenty of time for the boot, and it's a heck of a kick. Schumacher is going to let it bounce, and he'll take a good Central Catholic bounce, but then goes out of bounds near the 26-yard line or so. Maroons will start first and 10 at their own 26, and no doubt about it for Central Catholic. They've got a pretty strong kicking game this year with Sproul. He can do the place kicking very well, and also, obviously, by the looks of that punt, his first punt of the ball game, he can get a ton into the ball there, and he is just a junior, by the way. He'll be around next year, too, for them.
we're lucky. We're lucky they blocked that one. Was it a field goal?
It was an extra point
Extra
attempt after
point,
the
that's
first
right.
touchdown. Obviously, you were paying a lot of attention while you were sitting down there with your
extra
wife
point.
during the first half.
Well, we were busy talking, you know. and
Actually, it wasn't luck. Josh Wilson made a great defensive play there to make that
it was a good
block.
play, yeah. And we got a fortunate one where he was off to the left and that other field goal.
Rich is in motion. Maroons will try to hand off up the middle. It's Josh Wilson. He gets a couple of yards to the 29-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 8 coming up for the Maroons at their own 29-yard line after Josh Wilson gets the 2-yard carry. I want to mention these guys rotating the plays in and out. Thad Harned,
He's getting a workout today. He's
Thad-
coming in and out.
Thad needs the exercise.
He sure does that.
Tomorrow night he'll be working at Dave's Food Basket, by the way, for those of you that might want to come in and get an autograph.
They've had some good luck with that misdirection. They've been working pretty hard on it. Here we go.
Back to pass, Sams, short pass, screen. Wilson out of the right side of the backfield, dives forward and goes down, and the ball might have come loose, and Central Catholic is acting like they got the fumble recovery. We'll wait for the officials to tell us that. Down about the 32-yard line, and Central Catholic has recovered the fumble by Josh Wilson. Central Catholic will have the ball at the Maroons' 32-yard line. The Maroons' 3rd turnover of the night, their 2nd fumble. There's 1 interception also. Central Catholic has coughed up the ball 1 time so far this evening. That hurts a little bit because the Maroons were trying to move it out of their own end and get something going on offense. The defense will have to rise to the occasion again, Doug.
Well, they've got some good defensive players. They go for that ball over there, and they did a couple of times already today, and they've got some good luck on that. But they've got on a 30-yard line now. Let's see if we can hold them.
Ryan Wilder, the Central Catholic quarterback, takes the handoff. Option, has a little bit of an opening, cuts it upfield, and he's met hard and brought down about the 27-yard line, but he did gain about 4 yards, maybe 5, before Bob Igems came up from a secondary spot to make the tackle on the play.
Good tackle by Bobby there. He took his shoulders right into him, took him down. That quarterback was injured earlier, and I don't know if he's as good now as he was earlier.
Well, Mike Craig told us what happened there when he was down the sideline. He mentioned to us at halftime when he was up here that when Wilson tried to make the tackle on him as Wilder made his cut, Josh stuck his arm out and clipped him in the leg, and that stung him a little bit. He missed about 3 plays, was out for a series, but has come back in there, and it's not a serious injury at all. Here's another
Good
run attempt.
tackle.
Good solid hit by the Maroons' Clyde Leggett, I believe, that made a play from his line position. We'll double check and make sure. No, excuse me, it was Adam Moore who made the initial hit there and slowed down the run by Brandt. A gain of a couple more yards. Kevin Brandt picked up maybe 2 or 3 to just inside the 25-yard line. 3rd down and a long 3 coming up for Central Catholic. They're in Maroon territory, and they're leading Clinton by 3, 9-6 here in the 3rd period of play.
Again, that inside line has done the job. They've held them with any quick hitters in the middle.
I formation, 2 wide receivers to the left-hand side. It's Jaeger and Dunn for Central Catholic. Kiley and Brandt in the backfield behind Wilder. Wilder, long snap count. Still doesn't have the football. Now he does. Spins, hands it off Brandt. Big hole up the middle. He's grabbed from behind, though, and drugged down, and he'll be short of the 1st down. There was Wilson and Igems and another man from the line helping out in the play for the Maroons around the ankles, helping pull him down, and Clyde Leggett. I'm still learning some of these numbers out there as the Maroons have a few different numbers than from last season, although they have several that are the same. Makes the job easier. A yard short of the 1st down. 4th down and 1 for Central Catholic. They're at the Maroons' 22-yard line, so they will go for it, obviously. Although they do have the option to try for another field goal, but
They're going to go.
they're obviously going to go for it. New wide receiver in the ball game. Scott Kurz goes wide to the left-hand side. Jaeger wide to the right, but they'll try to run, I'm sure, as Wilder will hand it off. Kiley up the middle, has enough for the 1st down, spins backwards, falls backwards to the 18-yard line for the 1st down. Maroons, were there to make the tackle, and Kiley's amazing, isn't he? The way he springs back up and hustles back there after the tackle by Kevin McCleary. He just springs right up after a tackle and runs back to the huddle.
He's faster sometimes going back to the huddle than going forward.
He'd be trouble to try to guard in the noon basketball at the YMCA. I'd be in trouble. I'd be winded chasing him around, no doubt.
We'd probably knock him down a few times too, I would think.
Now you don't win me, you know. Nobody even bothers guarding you. At the 19-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Saints. 2 wide receivers to the left-hand side. Wilder bumped a little bit by his lineman, but gets the delayed handoff to Kiley, and he's going to make something out of this. He's finally drugged down from behind after he gets to the 8-yard line. Looked like the Maroons had it snuffed out at the line of scrimmage, and Kiley kept his feet, kept pushing hard, and got it all the way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line, and Central Catholic is threatening again in this ball game. They have only 9 points to show for themselves, but they now are about a half-yard short of a first down at the 9 of the Maroons.
That was one of the first times they hadn't held on to a tackle. They kind of let him go there, got a few people on him, but didn't get their arms around him.
You know, that's a good point, Doug, because last year there were times when it seemed like we made a lot of missed tackles, and Coach Nagel made a point to try to work on this year, and, you know, it has paid off. We haven't seen very many missed tackles at all tonight. Here's Wilder with the handoff. Looked like somebody jumped. He's going to have to eat the football, and on the option left, he wasn't able to hand it off to Kiley. He had to keep it, and he's dumped for a loss on the play. Several were there, Rich and Igems, to lead the charge for the Maroons, and dropping for a couple yards loss just outside the 10-yard line.
I can't believe there's no flag on that, but they looked like they jumped in the left side, but then it kind of missed the whole play up, and it was good for the Maroons.
Loss it down anyway, so we'll take it, I guess. Back just outside the 10-yard line. They'll have a 3rd and about 2, maybe 1.5 to go for a first down, as they've got to get it down to about the 8-yard line for a first down. And, of course, they're at the Maroons' 10.5-yard line, so they're knocking at the door. They'll send 2 wide to the right-hand side this time, again out of the I formation. Long snap call by Wilder again. Now he'll send a man in motion from right to left, and he'll pitch it back. Brandt will try the left-hand side. He's got an opening. He'll try to get around the corner. He's in for the touchdown, a 10-yard run, and Central Catholic has upped their lead now to 15-6, but there is a flag on the play, so hold on.
There's the Maroons. They're clapping. Looks like holding.
It looks like it might be. That's a preliminary call that we see, courtesy of Ryan Schumacher. Nate Sams was on that corner up there trying to spread the, keep the play from spreading out too far and try to force him back inside, and he couldn't get out there, and I think there was a good reason why. Somebody had a hold of him and wouldn't let him get out there, and that was an illegal block on the part of Central Catholic, and it is a holding call now, as the official shows us the sign. From the line, from where it occurred, at about the 8-yard line, the ball will come back out to, well, they're going to mark it off from farther back than that. They'll mark it off from the line of scrimmage. It'll come back to the 21-yard line, and against Central Catholic, when they look like they're in scoring position, have wiped some points off the board, at least for now. They were at the 1-yard line with a 1st and goal earlier. Now they're back to the 21-yard line with a 3rd down and 12. They're hurting themselves with penalties tonight.
Well, it's good for us, and I think with that wide open area on the left side there, somebody had to hold someone because it was a wide open play. He was in the touchdown easily, and we're very lucky that happened.
Yeah, they mismarked the penalty. They do mark it off from where the flag was dropped, which was the 6-yard line. So they're at the 16-yard line, so it's 3rd down and 7 now, or maybe almost 8. We'll call it 3rd and 8 for Central Catholic. Wilder, short drop, going to pop it out here in the right flat. Has his man. He's got one man to beat, and then another man comes up to make the tackle. Initially, it was Randy Rich who was there to make the play, and then Nate Sams came over to polish him off and drop him for only a gain of about 1 yard on the play. They tried to set that one up and make it a one-on-one, but Rich was there to slow down Kevin Dunn enough and then get some help on the play to prevent very little gain. So it's 4th down, and now maybe we'll see another field goal attempt out of Central Catholic. And a moment ago, I was saying they were up 15-6, but the penalty wiped it off the board, and now they're only going to get a chance to go for 3 more.
Well, Randy Rich did an excellent job staying out there and not getting fooled and going inside. Great job.
This will be the 3rd 31-yard field goal attempt. Why is it always 31 yards for Jason Sproul? He made one. He missed one to the left. Placement's down. Big rush. Kick is on the way. Plenty of leg. And this time it will not curve to the left. It curves right through the uprights from the right hash mark. But it's only a 6-point lead for Central Catholic, and we still have 4:41 to go into 3rd quarter of play. We'll take a break and be back with Central Catholic's kickoff in a moment as they lead the Clinton Maroons 12-6.
Your friends and neighbors at Gibson Ace Hardware are proud to sponsor another season of exciting Maroon football. Quality, service, and value set Ace apart from the competition. For 35 years in Clinton, Ace has been the leader in hometown customer service. The Ace buying power of over 5,000 stores guarantees you everyday value pricing and great monthly specials. We thank you all for your continued support as we root on the Clinton Maroons to another great season.
All right, So the Maroons faced with a potential disastrous situation again with Central Catholic looking like they were going to put a touchdown on the board, but the penalty and the Maroons defense does the job. And Doug, you're doing all right.
Well, I'm trying. I've got to get used to this. It's exciting being up here, and I get caught up in the game, and I forget to say something about what's going on. I'm
Hard to believe you forget to say something. I've never known you to be for a shortage of words before.
I am impressed with that kicker from Central Catholic with the leg. He could have made a 45-yarder, I think, on that one. He put a
Jason
good
Sproul, according to the newspaper report that I read, he's been hitting 50-yarders in practice, but a game situation's a little different from practice. But we know he can beat it on, really boot it on kickoffs, and here he is from his own 40. High and deep. Schumacher's awaiting it at the 6. He'll bring it right up the middle. 10, 15, now tries to cut it outside. Tripped at the ankles and goes down about the 19-yard line.
Kevin Dunn.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
It looked like Kevin Dunn.
It might have been. Who tripped him up at the ankles and knocked him down. I think you're right.
Nice
for Central
job,
Catholic.
Kevin Dunn.
You're only supposed to cheer for the Maroon football players up here in this booth, sir.
You know, the YMCA sometimes does the wise way, you know, saying, hey, nice
I
job.
know. Well, that's fine. That's fine. I understand.
Yeah, that's my style.
As long as you cheer harder for the good guys.
I do cheer harder.
The guys in the maroon uniforms. So the Maroons trailing 12-6. Need to get an offensive drive going here, and it'll be option right for Sams. Finds an opening, cuts it upfield, 6 feet. Don't yell on the microphone. 30, 35, tripped up and goes out of bounds near the 40-yard line. What the heck is that go-go stuff?
I got excited. He was going to turn the corner. I thought he'd go all the way.
You blew my ears out on that. He went out of bounds at the 39-yard line. It's a first down carry of about 21 yards for Nate Sams and a first down for the Maroons. Hold it. I got to check with our man down there at the sideline. Are you okay down there, Mike? Did you get your ears blown out by that go-go?
Yeah, Doug was coming in real good there for a minute, Larry.
Yeah, he really was. He was drowning me out.
Hi, Mike. How you doing down there?
Mike walking behind the bench down there as you hear the players' enthusiasm. First down carry up the middle. Wilson still on his feet. Punches it out to the 45-yard line. Hey, Mike, you got any inside stuff for us down there? You've been around the Maroon bench. You got anything for us right now?
Well, they sure seem to be up, Larry. They think they're in this ball game, and they sure are.
Well, they certainly are on the scoreboard, no doubt about that, by a 12-6 score. And, you know, the offense is starting to move the football if we can just stay away from a turnover.
Yeah, it's becoming field position. You know, they're getting the good field position, and we're not. You know, we'd have to drive 80. They have to drive 30.
Well, the Maroons are approaching midfield right now. About a 5-yard gain on first down, 2nd and 5. They've got to get it right to midfield for a first down. Sam's option pitch. They got it covered pretty well. Hygens won't get around the corner, and a loss of 2 yards on the play. Back to the 43-yard line, it appears, and one of the guys that was in on that tackle is their quarterback on offense, Ryan Wilder. He's at full strength. He's in on the tackle along with Kevin Brock, and he's the big guy out of the backfield on offense, and they're playing a lot of guys two ways like we are.
They smelled that one out real early on that one. They were all out there. I think there was no chance for that one to work.
3rd down and 7 now for the Maroons after a good first down play that got them 5. That loss of 2 pushes them back to their own 43. Let's see if the Maroons put it in the air. Sams drops straight back. He's under a lot of pressure. Sprints away. He's under a lot of pressure as he rolls out right. Now looks downfield, floats it down the field. It's over the head and off the hands of Schumacher. Boy, Central Catholic looked like they had it covered, but it got over the head of the defender and it hit Schumacher in the hands, but he couldn't quite read it all the way in and drops the football incomplete.
Well, both Schumacher and Hygens were in the same spot out there. I'm not sure if that was planned, but he was doing some improvisation at that play.
Improvising,
and
Doug,
whatever,
would be good.
and almost made it work. It just got through everybody's hands. Schumacher would have had an open line to the end zone.
Yeah, he was behind the defenders when the ball hit him in the hands, but that was a tough catch attempt there after it came through all the hands waving in front of him. Under those circumstances, Sams in position to punt for the 2nd time tonight. Got a good one off the first time. Low end over end kick this time that will bounce at the 30. Bounces right to the deep man, and they'll get a return out of it. Back to the 30-yard line. A return of about 8 yards for Central Catholic's Kevin Dunn. And from about their own 31-yard line, it'll be 1st and 10 for Central Catholic. 12-6, the Saints leading the Maroons with 2:44 to go in the 3rd quarter play. You only got 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes to go.
Hey, I'm glad of it, too. A lot of pressure in this position. I know what Joe does now. I can figure it out. He's one of the best commentators there are.
Have you figured out what I do? I
haven't figured that out yet.
Neither have I.
I'm glad you turned on the microphone. That helps.
Yeah, it helps when you have the microphone on. It does help. I found that out the hard way tonight.
Okay.
Well, we had a hum problem we were trying to take care of. 1st and 10 for Central Catholic from their own 31-yard line. Weiler has the football. Hands it off, 2nd man through. Tries the left-hand side, which they have tried a lot, and Brandt might have got a couple of yards to the 33-yard line. We'll see how much forward progress they gave him when they bring the markers up. A gain of 2, 2nd and 8 coming up for the Saints. Seems awfully early to be playing football, but nonetheless we're playing, Doug, and I know it's got to be awfully hot out there in the football field for those players in those uniforms, but it's a beautiful night for the fans to watch the game tonight.
It's wonderful for the fans, but it's getting hot down there. It's going to see who's in better shape right now the last quarter.
I'd like to think our guys are in pretty good shape. Maybe it'll show late in the ball game. On 2nd down, here's a pitch. Brandt trying to get outside, gets around the corner, and is knocked down short of the first down at about the 39-yard line. Somebody had a good block out front again on the Maroons corner. It was trying to come up and force it inside, and I didn't see a flag this time. So they'll get the good carry, and how much forward progress did they actually give him? Going to spot it back closer to the 37-yard line, so 3rd and about 4 coming up for the Saints after that gain of only about 3 or 4 yards. And now they stop the clock for a moment.
This is a big play for the Maroons to keep field position in their hands because they can hold them before the 3rd quarter ends here.
Good point. Well, with Sproles kicking, you got to hold them as deep as you possibly can. If you do force them to punt, that doesn't mean you're going to get good field position automatically. 3rd down and 4. Wilder will try the handoff up the middle. 1st down carry and a little bit more for a new man out of the backfield in the ball game for Central Catholic. We've seen him in there on defense some, but Nick Propercy was the ball carrier. Propercy. Yeah, that's what it looked like to me. Out to the 44-yard line and a 1st down for Central Catholic, and they keep their drive alive here late in quarter number 3. The Saints lead the Maroons 12-6, and the clock down to 1:12 to go in the 3rd period of play. The only scoring in this period, a 31-yard field goal for Central Catholic and Jason Sproul.
Well, Propercy is one of the bigger guys. He's 194. He's hard to get him down when he gets rolling.
Pretty good-sized kid. They'll try the quick pitch. Oh, what a solid hit. Brandt hit by Nate Sams, the Maroons quarterback. Came up and nailed him at the 41-yard line, and you yelled in my ear again, I believe, Doug, when that happened. And a loss of 2 yards on the play.
That was exciting, though. Excellent play by Nate Sams. I thought the ball was going to go. I really did. I thought he had it, but not quite. Good tackle.
You know, I got Joe out of that. I was able to, I had to work with him the first couple of games. I mean, we had the Olympia game last year, and the Tolona Unity game went down to the wire, but I was able to get him out of this yelling in my ear stuff after the first couple of games. Obviously, it's going to take more than a quarter with you to work you out of that. Here's Kiley, misdirection, opening up the middle, jukes another man. He's in the clear, down to the 40-yard line, a blocker behind, and there's flags all over the place as the crowd yells. Nate Sams was clipped at the 46-yard line, run over to make the play, and what's really bad about that for the Maroons is obviously he's a very valuable man for the Maroons, and they're calling for the trainers. Nate is down.
Oh, boy.
Making the illegal block out there was Kevin Dunn. Clearly for Central Catholic, and Nate does not bounce right back up after that. There's flags laying right at his feet, and we hope Nate will be okay. And the crowd is hushed here. The 3-year quarterback for the Clinton Maroons, starting his 3rd year right now. Outstanding quarterback for the Clinton Maroons. At least temporarily injured on that particular play on an illegal block on Central Catholic. They got the 1st down run.
Yeah, he was going for the end zone, but that was a clear-cut penalty.
Kiley was the ball carrier, got it all the way down. He was inside the 40-yard line and going for more when Sams went for the tackle and was blocked in the back. They're stretching out his right leg, it looks like, or at least tending to the right leg, and
he's checking out carefully.
I hope it's nothing more than maybe leg cramps up after that. But it's scary looking when he gets blocked like that. And we saw Ryan Schumacher immediately wave to the sideline saying, "Get the trainer out here to give him some help."
I don't see too many more coming out there, so it looks like he's trying to get a cramp out of his foot. He's moving.
It's kind of the way it looks right now. So we're being optimistic here, and I think rightly so that maybe there is another trainer out there talking to some of the other football players as there's a timeout on the field with the injury situation. But I think maybe Nate will come out of this, hopefully not too serious. We certainly hope so. Anyway, we ought to mention the fact that from the penalty, they pointed the penalty at the 37-yard line, a 15-yard penalty on Central Catholic for the clip, pushes the ball back to the 49-yard line at Central Catholic territory, and it wipes out the 1st down. It's second down, and at least the way they have it marked right now, 2nd down and about 5 or 6 to go for a 1st down for Central Catholic. I see Randy Rich is getting a little work on his left leg also. I think his calf might be cramping up a little bit too, and they're working on that a little bit, trying to help that out too.
Well, we had a game last year, wasn't it, when they had the cramps that they had a lot of got down with that.
It was a night similar to this, early in the season, hot and humid weather, and that happens. You got to keep a lot of fluids in, and try not to have these leg problems, which could happen very quickly. Mike Craig's down there on the sideline. Mike, what can you tell from what's going on down at your vantage point?
Well, Central Catholic's got Kiley down now, and they're working on cramps on both of his legs, it looks like.
Nate's up on his feet. And he's coming off on his own power. Listen to the crowd. Give him a hand. I think he'll be all right coming off under his own power, but it gave us a scare for a little bit there. But we're glad to see that. He will come out of the ball game for at least one play, and looks like the Maroons will have to make a substitution on defense, obviously. Travis Andrew is just a sophomore. I see him slipping in there on
We've
defense.
only got a few seconds left here in the third quarter. I think Nate will be back in as soon as the
Clock's
fourth
running.
quarter starts.
5-4. I don't know if they'll get the play off before the quarter runs out. They will not.
All right.
Third period is over. Hey, Doug, thanks for swinging by and
I
joining us.
appreciate that. I'm going to relinquish my mic back to Joe. Thank
All right.
you very much.
Doug Neuschwander, the director of the Clinton YMCA, guest color commentator for a quarter here in the Clinton Maroons Central Catholic ball game. And at the end of 3 quarters of play, we'll take a break with the score: Central Catholic 12, Clinton Maroons 6.
Cyrulik is proud to sponsor the 1995 Clinton Maroon football team. Cyrulik is ready to serve you with any of your ready-mix needs. Contact us at 935-6969. Best of luck, Maroons.
Ready to go with the fourth and final period of this ball game, and we still have a good one. Joe Spencer rejoins us Mike's side. Is that microphone smoking after Doug used it there, Joe? Is it all right? Can you still? Let's see if it
Are
works.
your eardrums okay, Larry?
Well, there were a couple of times when they were ringing a little bit, especially when Sam's made that run, one run where he went, go, go.
Yeah.
That's,
Well, I heard that
Does he
one
have a
over
patent
there.
on that?
I don't know. Wait.
Well, Central Catholic gets 3 in that period, but it could have been a lot worse. They were in scoring position and ready to go in for another touchdown. As a matter of fact, it looked like they had a touchdown on the board, but a penalty cost them again. And a couple times they've had key penalties that have kept them from scoring 6, and they've had to settle for field goals in a couple of situations here. So it's kept the Maroons in it, but we need to get the football back. Central Catholic will have 2nd and 5. And is Nate Sam still out? Actually, we haven't had a play since Nate went out with the injury, so he's probably still on the sideline for one more play. On 2nd down and 5, as we start the 4th period of play, there's a man in motion from left to right. Is Kylie in there right now? I don't see him. Back to pass. Wilder shuffling his feet. Loops it over the middle. It's knocked away. Almost intercepted. Incomplete. Igems diving to try to pick it off, but it drops incomplete. And the Maroons had that one well covered. Wilder has a tendency to really float the ball out there about 10, 15 yards down the field, and that one was certainly up for grabs.
And it was Sam's replacement, Travis Andrew, the sophomore, coming in there, batted it away.
They tried to pick on him, and he was there to make the play, along with the good help from Bob Igems, and there was at least one more Maroon jersey in that vicinity as they had time to get over there and cover that floating pass. It's 3rd down and 5 now for Central Catholic. They're at their own 49-yard line. A big penalty a moment ago. Clip took a 1st down away from them and has them back here at their own 49 with the 3rd and 5. Wilder back to pass, draw play, gets it to Kylie, but the Maroons sniff it out. Josh Wilson was there. He bounced off Wilson, but Wilson slowed him down enough to give the Maroons' other players a chance to get there and make the tackle, and Adam Moore was the man who actually drug him down after Josh slowed him down.
Yeah, and I kind of wonder if Brock really just suffered from the major usage in the first half. He hasn't got the ball a lot in the second half. They've been trying to get it to other guys. They brought Pro Percy into the game in the 3rd quarter, and they've been letting Wilder and Kylie run a little bit more.
Now the Maroons have to be careful here. Central Catholic could possibly try to draw them offsides, although they are in punt formation here at the 49 of the Maroons. And Jason Sproul, we know, can hit that ball like a cannon. He's back at his own 40 where he'll boot it. Not as high this time, but it floats well. Schumacher chases it down at the 10. Now we'll try to backtrack. Cuts it up the sideline and is hit hard and knocked out of bounds about the 18-yard line, 17 maybe. And that's about all you can do when you got a kicker like that. Boy, Central Catholic has an extra weapon when they've got a kicking game like that, and Jason Sproul. And like I mentioned earlier, to make matters even worse, he's just a junior. He'll be around all this year and all next year for him, doing that kind of job for him in the kicking game.
Yeah, for Maroons fans, it's kind of similar to Carl Ford last year. I mean, he enters into the game because he can get such good field position for your team.
Carl, of course, did the place kicking last year for the Maroons and did a fine job of that. Sproul does place kicking and punting, both. Maroons offense needs to get it in gear here at their own 17. Sands, quick handoff up the middle, pushing forward. Good push by the Maroons. And a gain of a couple of yards, though. Is unable to keep his feet as Josh Wilson to get a big gainer out of it, but he might have got, I guess, just 2 yards. They mark it back a little farther.
Wes
now somebody
Graves
else is
down, I think.
Is that
It's
Wes or is that Randy? I'm not sure which. We'll wait and see. I'm doing a quick inventory of who else is out there. No, you're right. It looks like it's Wes Graves. Wes, a tight end on offense most of the time for the Maroons, and he's got a leg bothering him. Was that him that was pounding the ground immediately when the play was ending?
Yeah, that was him. It looked.
He was out front blocking ahead on that play. He's on the ground about the 24. Go ahead, Joe. I'm sorry.
It looked like it happened on contact after the play. It looked like he was making another block upfield, and all of a sudden he just came up lame.
Somebody might have fallen on the back of his legs as he was going down, and that's not a comfortable feeling at all. So we hope it's not a serious injury here to Wes Graves. Another valuable senior for this football team. You know, we got that nucleus of seniors with a lot of experience. Nate Sams, Ryan Schumacher, Bob Igems. Wes Graves is right in that group. You know, these guys have been playing all kinds of ball together for so many years, and they know each other's move on the football field, basketball court, baseball field, whatever the case may be. And we certainly hope it's not serious, and he's up on his feet. He's going to come off to the sideline jogging off, so that's great to see there also.
Yeah. Well, at this point, you wonder, since it's early in the season, if it's not much more than cramps or something like that. At least you hope.
Yeah. Well, early in the fourth quarter of play, Central Catholic leading 12-6. Schumacher's wide to the left-hand side. Igems in there wide to the right-hand side. And Sams wants to throw over the middle. Schumacher, good grab. Has it knocked out of his hands again, though, on a solid hit. And Central Catholic has recovered another Schumacher fumble. They hit him a couple of times. A couple of men drilled him after he made a great catch. But he has had the ball knocked out of his hands twice after making catches in this ball game. And that one's a tough one for anyone to hold on to, though. That's, you know, that's just a great defensive play by Central Catholic. They really slammed him right after he caught that ball and was trying to pull it in.
Yeah, they hit him so hard that the ball and his helmet came off at the same time. So
yeah, that's an indication of the kind of shot he took. And the ball comes loose at the 32, recovered by Central Catholic. He was the only Maroon shirt in the vicinity, and they were tackling him. He had no chance to get that loose ball back. So the Maroons, fourth turnover of the ball game, technically, when you get down to it. We've had 3 fumbles now and 1 interception in the ball game. Yet we trail by only 6 to Central Catholic, but they're in great field position again. They're at the 32 of the Maroons here early in the fourth period of play.
Well, one big reason Clinton's still in the game is Central Catholic, for the most part, hasn't really got the killer's instinct and scored when they got the turnover.
And the penalties. Wilder. Grant trying to get around the corner. The Maroons defense there. Bob Igems will wrap him up and throw him down. And the first man there for the Maroons that really made the play was Nate Sams. And is Nate's leg still bothering him? He's a little slow getting up, and he's still stretching out that left leg this time, it looks like. He's trying not to let that thing cramp up a little bit. You know, those guys are having to play a lot of minutes playing both offense and defense. And it's tough on a hot, humid night here in August playing football in the high school football field. A loss of, almost 5 yards on the play for Brandt on the play by Sams, and, of course, Igems finishing him off.
Yeah, they tried to go to that left side with Brock. This time, Nate and Bobby came up from their safety spots and stuffed him for a big loss.
Second and about 14 for Central Catholic, and did they take too much time? What happened here? There's flags flying at the snap of the football. Somebody might have jumped. We'll wait and see. We're down about 9.5 to play in the fourth quarter of play. Maroons need the football in their hands. Right now they're in there on defense. It's procedure penalty the call against Central Catholic. They lose 5 more yards. They have shot them
20.
They've shot themselves in the foot a lot in this ball game. They're back to the 41-yard line. You're right, 2nd and 20. Wes Graves is back in the ball game, though. He came back in there, was jumping up and down, trying to make sure those legs are good and stretched out to go the distance now.
Yeah, and that's been another big key. 8 penalties for BCC, none for Clinton.
I think that's a real big key. Penalties for them, turnovers for us. And we're at 12-6, Central Catholic leading the Clinton Maroons. Wilder's going to have to throw. Rolling out right. Has a little pressure in his face. Gets away from a man. Now flicks it downfield and gets the receiver at about the 33-yard line. Diving back and making the catch was Kevin Dunn. Found a little seam in the defense there. Randy Rich was there to make the tackle on the play. A gain of about 9, maybe 8 yards. 3rd down and 11 or 12 to go for Central Catholic at the Maroons. They've marked it back to the 34-yard line in Clinton territory. 8:45 to go in the contest in regulation time.
Yeah, it was a nice play by Wilder. Jim Savage had him under pressure, and he still got the ball off and found Dunn downfield.
Big play here for the Clinton Maroons defense. 2 wide receivers to the left-hand side. Wilder has the football. Options left. No, just hands it off to Brandt. He's met and pushed back. Fighting through there to initially slow down the play a little bit for the Clinton Maroons. The big play was made by Lucas Ward, and then there was Igems again. Boy, he's been in on a lot of tackles and some others. But I got to give credit to Lucas Ward. He really didn't make the tackle, but he's the one that bottled up that play first and slowed it down enough for the Maroons to stop it at the 35-yard line. And a loss of 2 yards, 4th and 13 coming up for Central Catholic.
Yeah, and sometimes making the tackle isn't the big part. It's not letting him get outside of you, and that's what Lucas did there, and that enabled Bobby to come up and make the play.
Hold the phone. We've got a 51-yard, almost a 52-yard field goal attempt for Jason Sproul from the middle of the field. Placement down, kick on the way. It's going to be well short, and we're going to get a run back by Igems. He's got it at the 5, 10. Everybody's standing around. Now they come after him, and he slips and falls down at the 20-yard line. Doggone it, trying to make a cut out there in the middle of the field, and Bob goes down, but that kick was well short. It came down short of the goal line. I don't know. Sproul didn't really look like he put his full foot into that one because we know he can kick it close to 50 yards if he really tries, I think.
Yeah.
He caught it, cleanly. There was no doubt about that, but he sure didn't plow into it very hard.
Yeah, it kind of looked like maybe got it off the side
Maybe
of the foot or something.
maybe it was just their kind of field goal attempt, except out of a kicking formation like that, a place kicking formation. Here's the Maroons on an option right, I believe, as I glance back up, and Sams has dropped for a loss on the play. Not a good start on this offensive series for the Maroons, which is starting just inside their own 20. The defense did the job after another turnover and held, but now the offense has got to get some points on the board. Our only touchdown of the ball game came in the second period when Nate Sams broke at 39 yards on an option, and that's the 6 for the Maroons. Central Catholic has one touchdown and a couple of field goals for their 12. 12-6 Central Catholic. 2nd and 14 now for Clinton. Sams back to pass. Faking, under pressure, runs it upfield, needs some help, fumbles the football. Central Catholic's got it. He was holding it out there loosely and had it stripped away. Brandt made the tackle and I think knocked it out of his hands. Nate trying to run through two defenders, didn't tuck it in time, and it's knocked out of his hands, squirts loose. It's on the field and recovered by Central Catholic at the 24-yard line. And that is another costly turnover here with 6:49 to go in the ball game.
Well, the defense has been doing the job, but asking him time and time again to save the field position from BCC after these turnovers. It's quite a task that they're putting forth tonight.
How much longer can the defense hold off Central Catholic? Let's hope they can one more time. 1st and 10 at the 24 of the Maroons. Wilder sets them down. A long call. I formation. Has the football. First man, Kiley, finds a little opening. Drugged down by Graves from behind. Also on the tackle was Josh Wilson. He kept his forward progress going to, about the 21-yard line and gained about 4 yards on the play. 2nd and 6 for the Saints. Time still not a big factor, although it's winding down. But with the score at 6 points, it's not as big a factor as it would be if Central Catholic puts points on the board and has more than a touchdown lead. Right now, the Maroons with 6 minutes to go in the contest in the fourth period of play, trail by 6. They've got to hold them off and can't allow any more points right here.
Yeah, this would be an easier field goal attempt for Sproul if they don't get a touchdown.
Wilder has a big hole on the option left, cuts it upfield, has a first down, caught from behind, thrown down, but not until he gets to the 11-yard line and has a first down for Central Catholic. Their players are a little slow getting up. They've got 2 down on this particular play. This has been a tough ball game out there. I mean, these are tough conditions to play under, and we knew the Maroons were well-conditioned, and Central Catholic, they're a well-conditioned football team too, but you can see now as we get into the latter stages of this ball game, it's just starting to pay a toll on some of these players out there.
Yeah, they're huffing kind of hard and slow getting up.
Legs are cramping up. At the 11-yard line, 1st and 10 for Central Catholic. At the Maroon 11. We need a turnover from Central Catholic is what it boils down to here. Certainly a stop. It's loose on the ground. Oh, they got it back.
Wilder jumped on it.
Wilder got it back. He tried to hand off to Kiley, and Kiley didn't get it cleanly. It fell right on the ground, but Wilder saw it first and was able to get back on the football. I tried to get that turnover. They lost a little bit, maybe a half yard on the play. 2nd and 10 and a half coming up for Central Catholic as they're still about the 11-yard line. Boy, I wish we could have got that one.
Yeah, that would really have helped us out.
Under 5 minutes to go in the fourth period of play. 12-6 Central Catholic with the lead and the football at the Maroon 11-yard line. Wide receivers both ways. I formation. They'll try the handoff up the middle again. The Maroons have it pretty well surrounded, no gain. They know that if they can't punch it in there, get a wide open run and punch it in there, they got the guy on the sideline that can boot it through the uprights easily from there. I mean, from here it would only be about, a 27-yard field goal attempt probably, somewhere in that vicinity, and he's hit 2 31-yarders out of 3 attempts from 31 yards so far tonight. 3rd down and about 9 or 8 to go. We'll call it closer to 9, just inside the 10-yard line for the Saints.
Yeah, if it went to another field goal attempt, they just about have to have another block like Wilson had on the point after.
Wideouts both ways again, but again the I formation with Kiley and Brandt in the backfield. They'll try Kiley. No, they won't. Quarterback keeper caught around the ankles, dropped after a yard or 2 gain. Wes Graves was there to grab him and drop him. He got a couple more yards down to the 7, maybe the 8. We'll call it the 8-yard line. All right, here he comes, Jason Sproul. Now, a 3-pointer obviously would make it a 9-point ball game, and it would make it very difficult for the Maroons. But hey, wait, these are the Clinton Maroons, the Cardiac kids last year. Well, we can't count them out of anything, but obviously we would love to have a miss here. From the left hash mark,
Maybe he can pull it to the left.
Line of scrimmage is the 8, but the boot will come from the 15, 25-yard chip for Sproul. It's on the way. It looks good from here. It's got obviously plenty of distance, and it's through the uprights. And Central Catholic leads by 9. Timeout on the field, 3:20 to go in the fourth period of play. The Saints lead the Maroons 15-6.
Are you ready for a new look?
Still 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go in this ball game, and Joe, you're dropping your head a little bit. Hey, don't forget what these guys did last year, though. I mean, they looked like they were out of it in some of the ball games with less time than this, and they still came back. So a quick score by the Maroons, and they get their hands back on the football. Anything can happen in this one, and they've done it before. These kids have a lot of heart, and they never quit. So stay with us for the last 3:20. And I'm not just talking to you. I'm talking to everybody on that account.
Well, I didn't forget what they did last year. They
I
get a
know.
score here and an onside kick, and it's about like Monticello. I mean, Monticello, we got an onside kick, drove down, and almost came back inside that one.
Well, first we got a score, and we've had our troubles moving the football tonight. The Maroons with just 1 touchdown. It'd be nice if we get some kind of run back against Sproul here. He can really boot it deep, though, and they're backtracking again. Igems is going to try it from the 5, 10, 15. A little opening up the middle, but has to just dive forward to about the 24-yard line. Just kind of put his shoulder down and tried to find some yardage. So the Maroons start pretty deep again, their own 24-yard line, and they've got 3 minutes and 15 seconds to try to move it down the field. Do you think Central Catholic has studied some films? Well, I don't know if they've had any access to films, but certainly they know what the Maroons did a few times late in ball games last year and how they went about doing it. They've got to be aware of that. So, they'll try to be prepared for it any way they can.
Well, the Maroons are splitting Schumacher out wide, so they'll try to get it to him.
They throw to him. He hangs on to the football this time. You noticed how he really tried to cover up on it and make sure they weren't able to knock it out of his hands, and he goes out of bounds. And about the 32-yard line, they'll give him forward progress, and just a quick out to the right-hand side, the near sideline. And it'll bring up 2nd down and 3 for the Maroons. We forgot all about Mike Craig down there in the sideline. I don't know if he has anything to tell us or not. Here's Sams throwing, airing it out down the left sideline for Igems. Overshot him. There was a defender there, but it drops incomplete at about the 45-yard line of Central Catholic, and the Maroons will have a 3rd down and 3. What's the attitude along the sideline, Mike? Can you tell? Are you close enough to them, or you want to stay away right now?
Well, they're not really hanging their heads yet, Larry. I like the idea of going ahead and going to the 2-minute offense with about 3.5 minutes to go.
Well, we need 2 scores, so it's about what we got to do, though, right?
Yep, we're going to have to.
Need a touchdown and some kind of conversion, hopefully, and then get in a scoring position as quickly as we can again. But they got to get that first score, and right now they need a 1st down. 3rd and 3. Sams, quick drop, quick pass. He's got Schumacher, makes the catch, covers up the football this time, goes down about the 36-yard line. It's enough for a 1st down for the Maroons. First downs have come hard tonight, but Schumacher hangs on to that one. He's had a couple knocked away. He had a clean catch early in the ball game, but they knocked it out of his hands, and then just a little while ago had a tough catch, and really probably impossible to hang on with the hit they laid on him the last time he fumbled. Can't blame him much on that one. Sams, another pass, overshot, incomplete, intended for Igems, drops incomplete at the 45-yard line. 2nd and 10 coming up for the Maroons, and they're hurrying up right now. We're down to 2:30 to go in the ball game.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to run some quick out plays so they can, after they make the catch, get out of bounds quickly.
Remember the big plays for us last year, though, the ones that really got us up the field and into scoring position, like especially the Sullivan game, for instance, over the middle, the guys out of the backfield. Ryan Conley caught a couple of big passes against Sullivan that got us up the field quickly. Maybe we'll spring one of those on him quickly, but I don't know if we can. Central Catholic might be playing for that, too, and just giving us the out patterns right now. On 2nd and 10 from the Maroons' own 36-yard line. They'll pitch it in the backfield and try to run. Rich cuts it upfield, but they cut it down nicely, and a loss of a yard on the play, and that'll keep the clock running. Rich had nowhere to go. Kiley was in that vicinity, and for Central Catholic, they also had Ted Wolf, who's a letterman back from last year. He's a big boy, 6'3", 244. We don't have anybody that can match that kind of size this year. 3rd down and 11 now for the Maroons. Again, another big 3rd down play, and we're down to 2:07, 2:06, 2:05 to go in the contest. Central Catholic is leading the Maroons by 9, 15-6. Maroons need a score. Sam's back to pass. He wants to throw deep. Lost it up for Igems. It's well underthrown. It's intercepted easily by Wilder, their quarterback on offense. He's across the 50, 45, gets some blocking. Sam's will have to make the tackle and does so. And Central Catholic has it at the 30 of the Maroons, and maybe, just maybe, shutting the door on the Clinton Maroons. Another Maroon is down, hurt on the play. I think it's McCleary who is trailing on the play. Kiley's hovering over him for Central Catholic, trying to act like he did nothing there. I don't know if he did or if he didn't, but he looks guilty just by standing there, you know?
Yeah. And you're right, Sams did underthrow. It looks like he tried to loft it up, and Bobby
And
just
gave
fell
Bobby
down. And
gave Bobby a chance to run under it, but it wasn't thrown near enough the distance downfield for him to run under it. Kiley was backpedaling, and he had an easy pick to run it back. So this may slam the door, and apparently some of the fans think so as they start heading for the exits here. But for an opener against a highly ranked team and a defending state champion, this is not a bad opener. Certainly the turnovers have caused us to, well, the major portion of the reason why we're possibly going to be dealt a defeat here tonight by Central Catholic.
well, the fans can't forget, too, that this is the 5th-ranked team in the state.
That's right.
Bloomington Central Catholic. It's not like they're a slouch by any stretch of the imagination.
Absolutely not.
And
neither are we.
And Clinton, I mean, if they don't have some of the turnovers, they could very well be beating Bloomington Central Catholic tonight.
Kevin McCleary back up on his feet, helped to the sideline. He was only a few yards off the field, and he's off to the sideline. Appears to be okay. Got his bell rung, but he'll be all right. Central Catholic has the football here. Now, minute 36, minute 35. They're just going to try to run out the clock, I'm sure, with the 9-point lead. They will run it, and Brant will get the call. Gets a little opening to the right-hand side. Maroon's still hustling and making the tackle on the play was Bob Igens. Boy, Bob's been in on a lot of tackles tonight. He has never let up. Gain of 4, 2nd and 6 for Central Catholic. 25-yard line to the Bruins for the Saints. And what, 6 turnovers? Is that what we've ended up with now? 4 fumbles? I'm just counting in my head here. 4 fumbles and 2 interceptions, I think, is where it stands for the Clinton Maroons in the turnover category. And that's the name of the game. Central Catholic tried to hurt themselves, too, with penalties. But not as badly as the Maroons' turnovers hurt them. Under a minute to go. Saints with the football. They'll run it again. Brant trying to get outside. Good tackle by Nate Sams. Nate has never quit. He calls timeout immediately. You know, these guys, they just don't give up. I mean, they're down by 9. They don't have the football, but they're not about to give up. Nate Sams makes a tackle and immediately looks up the official and calls timeout. Stops the clock with 46 seconds remaining.
And if they can jar the ball loose and maybe get a return on a fumble recovery, they're not out of it.
It's not over till it's over, Yogi. I mean, it looks grim right now, but we're not going to say, I mean, after last year, who can blame us for not saying there's no chance? I mean, we're not going to say that. We saw too much evidence to the contrary last year in those ball games last year. Amazing things this team did. And I bet we'll see some more of the same fireworks this year. Next game for the Maroons is a Saturday afternoon ball game. A week from tomorrow, we'll be hosting Moment. That'll be a good matchup, but the Maroons will, I'm sure, get on the winning track with that ball game next Saturday, and we hope to have a big crowd out here. I know it's going to be kind of a tough decision for some people. Maybe not that tough. Maybe I shouldn't say that. They're going to be a little torn because that's the opener for the Illini at home against Michigan the same time in the afternoon. But we'll still have a huge crowd for this one, and they can just bring their radios along and either listen to me or they can listen to the Illini, whatever they want to do. Keep posted on the Illini while they watch the Maroons, right? We hope to have a big crowd out here.
Yeah, well, I think there's no question we'll have a big crowd out here, Larry. A big crowd out here tonight. Some of them are leaving now, but it's to be expected. Trying to get out early, beat the rush of the traffic.
Now it's a big crowd. There's a lot of cars in the parking lot, and some of them are making their way out now. Here we go. After the timeout. Quick pitch to Brant. On the 3rd down and 8. Has a little bit of an opening to the outside. Doesn't get around the corner. Somebody tripped him at the last second, and it was Randy Rich who makes the tackle. And they're close to a first down out around the 20-yard line, but not close enough. It'll be 4th down and a yard or 2. And the clock running down to 27 seconds to go. And now looks like the Maroons burn another timeout. I don't know if they have any more left or not. But they'll use one here. We'll keep it here. Tomorrow morning at 9:30 on WHOW AM FM radio will be Coach's Corner. I know Chuck Nagel, you know, it'll be a little difficult to talk to him about this ball game because they didn't come out on the winning end, but the coach will be gracious enough to talk with us about the ball game. And I know he'll have a lot of good things to say about this football team after this ball game. And they'll have some things that, you know, they'll have to work on, and I'm sure he'll want to talk about that and let people know they'll be back to play next Saturday and try to get people to come on out, and I'm sure people will support them and come on out. But you can hear the coach's comments tomorrow morning at 9:30 on WHOW AM and FM radio, Coach's Corner, with head coach Chuck Nagel. So join us for that tomorrow morning. Central has a 4th down and about a yard and a half or so. I don't think they're real concerned about getting the first down, although they would like to keep the football in their possession. With 26 seconds remaining, they might have to run one more play following this one. Maybe not. I don't know how many timeouts Maroons have. The Maroons jumped off sides. Automatic first down for Central Catholic. Long count. That's the first time the Maroons have done that. You know, really, for the first game of the year, the Maroons have stayed away from penalties pretty well tonight.
Oh, yeah, last year I think it was a penalty-filled game with Olympia. Both teams had about 9 penalties.
Yeah, both teams did.
And this game, Clinton showed a lot of restraint. And people got to remember about the turnovers. It's the first game of the season, and it can happen. And some of those plays like Schumacher, I mean, there's nothing he could do. I mean, that was just a great hit.
Well, we have an inexperienced offensive line, and they did a pretty good job tonight, but there were times when Nate was under a lot of pressure, and give Central Catholic credit. You know, a couple of those turnovers were good, solid defensive plays, hits that forced fumbles. And, you know, you got to give them credit for some of those turnovers, too. It's not all the Maroons just messing up and making turnovers. They down the football on the first down play, and they're going to run out the clock. There's less than 10 seconds to go. Central Catholic, coming off last year's 3A championship, will start off on a good note against our Clinton Maroons here and get the victory, but they're going to shake hands with the Clinton Maroons, I'm sure, giving them credit for a great effort. And, hey, this Clinton Maroon football team has still got potential to be in the playoffs, no doubt about it. They've